30 years, and their Rolex-trained watchmaker will service your watch in their state-of-the-art Rolex service center in their store. Lebrand uses only genuine Rolex parts, and their estimates are free. Drop by Lebrand in the Trader Joe's shopping center in Sandy Springs or visit lebrand.com.
What's up, Atlanta? It's Ben Bernett, host of the Weekend Ben Bernett Show. Each and every weekend, right here on XTRA 106.3, we unpack all the week's events. We talk about all the issues with a local Atlanta-based flavor. You can catch me each and every weekend, Saturdays at 2 and Sundays at noon. If you ever miss an episode, you can go to the podcast park or wherever you download all of your content, and I'll be right there. Thanks for listening to the Ben Bernett Show, proudly brought to you by Butler Snow.
WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey broadcasting station. The 3 p.m. hour is presented by First Liberty Building and Loan.
A former governor lands on the Capitol Hill Grill over COVID. Lisa Brady, Fox News. Former New York Governor Andrew Cuomo testifying at a House hearing on the pandemic and nursing home deaths.
To the families of the victims here today and across the country, I am sorry for your loss, and I believe you are owed an apology, because this country should have done better.
But he's blaming Trump administration policies, which contradicts a report from the Republican-led Select Committee.
The committee released its preliminary findings into its investigation into Cuomo's response to the pandemic in New York's nursing homes and found that Cuomo was ultimately responsible for that controversial March 25th, 2020 directive that forced nursing homes to readmit COVID-19 positive patients. The report concluding the directive, quote, unjustifiably exposed vulnerable nursing home populations to COVID-19.
Fox's Brian Yennis. Cuomo also denies a committee finding that he personally reviewed and edited a state health department report to ensure deaths were blamed on nursing home staff infections and not his office. What might be the only Trump-Harris debate happens tonight, a record 7th presidential debate for him and the first for her.
We know that the goal for former President Trump is to remain focused and really press the vice president on these new policies. Vice President Harris, she has perhaps a more difficult job. It's a delicate dance trying to put forward these ideas, call them positive change, while also not criticizing the administration that she is a part of.
Fox's Alexandria Hoff in Philadelphia, where the ABC presidential debate will have a candidate's microphone muted when the other is talking and no notes allowed. A high school lockdown in Omaha, Nebraska, where police responded to a shooting at or near Northwest High. A suspected shooter is in custody. One victim reported. No word yet on their condition. America is listening to Fox News.
For anyone living with everyday aches and pains, there's a lot of things you can try. You know, tough it out, bite the bullet, grin and bear it. Or you can try something that has helped so many other people, Relief Factor. Relief Factor is a 100% drug-free daily supplement that helps your body fight pain naturally. Developed by doctors, Relief Factor uses a unique formula of natural ingredients that addresses the inflammation where pain starts. And Relief Factor doesn't just mask pain for a short time. It helps reduce or even eliminate it all day, every day. Wherever you're hurting, your back, neck, joints, or muscles, in about 3 weeks or less, you'll see a difference and rediscover what it's like to feel better and live better. So if everyday pain is affecting your life, don't go with the mind over matter approach. Try Relief Factor instead. Go to ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4-RELIEF and save on your first order. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF. Fight pain naturally with Relief Factor.
I was in a little thing like I just got a piece of news makes me totally happy for the whole rest of the day. Look out, it's only me, it's only the Kimmer with Pete Davis, sidekick producer, sports rec on tour extraordinaire, the mechanical banker controls. It's Flounder coming to the rescue. He found the sound I wanted when it wasn't there. Flounder, Flounder, you the man. Flounder, Flounder, you the man. Flounder, Flounder, he can't. I don't know what the cheers are these days. How you doing, everybody? It's what's this, Tuesday? Bum, bum. Yeah. Bad to the bone. Now, you got a big night tonight. We can do live. The only place in America to hear the debate tonight is right here, the only news talk radio station in Atlanta that doesn't really suck. 106.3. That would be weak.
Can we get that all on a T-shirt?
It should be on a T-shirt. We should do a Kimmer T-shirt. The only radio
station
doesn't really suck. And by the way, here's our number if you'd like to suck along with us here today. 404-741-1230. 741-1230. And Pete Davis, anything new from the mountains of Macon here at the studio?
I just read a book about sponges.
Sponges? I read a book about sponges. Gee, really? I can't believe it.
It was quite absorbing.
Absorbing book, was it? Hey ho! I read a book about gravity. I just couldn't put it down. That's a hey ho. I guess we could probably do this for an hour. One day we ought to just do. In fact, one day we keep threatening you. We should just do punchlines. I remember.
Honestly, officer, it's just helping the sheep over the fence.
Yeah. No, I swear to God, officer, that's not my wife, and the midget was on fire when I got here. Ludlow porch.
Okay, Ludlow.
Anyway, and Flounder in the darkness of cave in there. Anything new with you today, sir? In the afternoon?
No, sir. All is well.
Excellent.
Can I give a shout out to lovely people at Piedmont Hospital?
I've been to Piedmont Hospital years ago, many times. I did all my stuff there. Yeah.
Went there. I got two doctor's appointments this morning.
All right. Two in one morning. That's rare.
Lovely Atlanta traffic. It only took me 3 hours to get there.
Well, now that's Atlanta. Yeah, welcome to the... Oh,
so I get there. I'm thinking I'm a little late for the first one, so I got to rush through the first one, then I got to run to the second one. The second one's at the other end of the Piedmont campus, and it's big.
That's
now.
big.
It's massive.
Trying to find where to park, because then you're in the wrong
the parking's
park.
already there.
Yeah.
It's having to get to the place. It's just a lot of walking, right?
It's a lot of stuff.
So I get there, and I'm waiting. The doctor's going to be a little late. I'm late, blah, blah, blah. But he gets in there, and he deals with all my problems in like 10 minutes. It was amazing. It was great. I was stupid enough when he offered me pain pills. I said no.
All right, now see, this is a major mistake.
What was I thinking?
What the hell? Just go back now.
I was going down the hallway.
We can cover for an hour. He can go and come back.
Why did I say no?
What's the matter with you?
So I finished there, and I know the second one is in the other building. I'm really going to be late for this. So I'm hauling ass to get to the second building. And I get there, and I'm feeling so proud of myself. I'm there like 5 minutes ahead of time. Yeah. And the lady goes, "What doctor are you here to see?" I said, "I'm here to see Dr. Vinny Boom Botts." Yeah. Just, he moved.
He's back.
I said, where did he was a floor away from where I just left.
And that's not that.
But they didn't decide to tell anybody.
No, well, why would they tell you? It's more fun that way when you show up out of breath.
It's much more fun.
And we got another one, Marriage.
Well, see, that was my cardiologist, and he wants to get a little cardio in.
It's like it's a cardiogram on foot. It's kind of it's a stress test.
I got my walking in today
without knowing it, so that's a major thing. In fact, speaking of medical, I'm going to the dentist to the stars, Dr. Dina Giesler, next week. Oh. I haven't had an actual cleaning, and I know there's something bad going on in there. So this ought to be interesting. Anyway, Flounder, and nothing new with Flounder. We've discovered this. And by the way, debate tonight, and we got a whole bunch of really cool newsy things we'll talk about today, including. And we have to talk about the issue. The guys right before us were talking about the issue of whether you bring up the fact that Carmela Sidepiece is a tramp. That she has the morals of an alley cat. She'll do anything, including having sex with anybody, to get ahead. I mean, literally, she will use...
if it's going to affect votes, then no.
Yeah, I know, but the problem is, as they were mentioning, a woman could make the point that, let's get this straight. Donald Trump's been married 3 times. He's apparently with a hooker. He's got stuffed it up and accused of the so-and-so. So it's okay if a man does it, but not a woman.
I don't think he'll bring it up. She's a nightmare on policy.
Oh, no. I'm saying he'll never bring it up. I'm just saying, should anybody else, like voters or anybody else, remark about the fact.
Anybody that would affect their vote, that she's a tramp or was a tramp, because who's going to sleep with her now, has already made up their mind to vote for Trump.
That should not be the reason you make a decision on president. And again, but the problem is nobody does that. Nobody makes a decision on what's best for the country. Well, I mean, some people do. They
should.
But half the country is not going to make a decision on what's best for the country. They want to make a decision based on they hate Donald Trump.
And who they like.
Want a girl for the first time to show, we finally elected, it's just for the wrong reasons.
Who makes them feel good.
Oh, God. Anyway. All right, so now the debate is on tonight. We'll talk a lot about that. First, let's get this cut number 2, Flounder. Let's go right to this. This is hysterical. And if you're going to play a drinking game on the debate tonight, please let us know. We'd love to play along with you. We'll talk more about the rules of debate, stuff like that. But this story has just been unearthed, and I don't know why. Well, I guess you have to assume there's a political reason for it, or it was hidden and somebody found it. I don't know. Here's the story. There is some unearthed ABC News footage from 1995. We're talking 30 years almost. And the ABC News trial was of then the mayor of San Francisco, Willie Brown, who was also the Speaker of the House in California, the most powerful politician in California and one of the most powerful politicians in America. Willie Brown, mayor of San Francisco. They did a news profile, ABC, showing the moment that a young Carmela Sidepiece Harris is questioned by reporters while she is on a night out with her lover. Carmela at the time was in her 20s. Willie Brown was 60. The special report on Willie Brown by Diane Sawyer.
Respect.
1995. God bless him. I mean, seriously.
Respect.
Yeah, you can't, It portrays Democrat Willie Brown as, quote, a rogue politician, notorious for his flamboyant lifestyle, flashy clothes, fancy parties, and fine women. Now, here's the part where, listen very closely, a woman goes up to Willie Brown dancing with this young side piece, Carmela, who's more than 30 years his junior. Cut number 2, Flounder. Here's what happened on the dance floor.
He's a rogue, all right, notorious for his flamboyant lifestyle.
Report.
Flashy clothes, fancy parties, fine women.
Are you his daughter?
Fine.
She
women.
said, the woman said, "Are you his daughter?" That last part of that soundbite, the woman
Fine
said,
women.
Are you his daughter?
She laughed. Are you his daughter? Nah. Are you his daughter? And by the way, the Daily Mail got this from 1995. They started dating when he first ran for mayor of San Francisco. Willie Brown is now 90. He's still married to the wife he was cheating on with her. They never got divorced. They're still married. They've been married for 60 years or something. They live in different houses. But anyway.
So happily married.
Yeah, and so he gets along with her fine now. Her relationship with Brown sparked gossip columns musing about her and Brown getting married. They decided to end that after when he got elected. So she was just a side piece to have fun with and dance with and go to parties with and stuff on his arm while he was married. Now think about her. Think about her doing things like this while she was going with a married man.
Only those two families should give a damn about that. I'm more concerned that he gave her jobs, paying her hundreds of thousands of dollars a year.
That's
over other people.
That was the point. A married man using him for sex. She made over $100,000 being on commissions and boards of companies and what am I trying to councils and associations where they paid her a monthly stipend to go once a month to a meeting. And she made 6 figures sleeping with Willie Brown, and then he put the pressure on everybody to make sure she became Attorney General of California. He got her that job.
I know.
So don't think, sleeping your way to the top. Oh my God! I mean, we're not now that if that's not an issue. Donald Trump may have had sex with other women, but he didn't sleep his way to the top. They didn't get him the job. Well, there's a big freaking difference.
He was kind of born on the top a little bit.
Okay, but still, but see the difference. It's not the same.
He made it a bigger top.
Yeah, there you go. But still, anyway. All right, 312. Now we'll do one more, Flounder. Well, actually. Yeah, do we have time to do that here? Let's do the other. Aaron Bernett. This is another thing. Even CNN went nuts. Aaron Bernett on CNN went nuts when she was doing an interview with a guy who was doing a deep dive into the policies and the changes of Vice President Sidepiece. Okay, Aaron Bernett talking to this guy, and when Vice President Sidepiece says she hasn't changed her values, when CNN's Aaron Bernett almost popped a blood vessel when she found out something special about this loose fraud in a pantsuit. Cut number 1, sir, if you will.
What else did you find? Yeah, and this was a questionnaire that she filled out for the ACLU, and this questionnaire is really an interesting snapshot in time of that 2019 Democratic primary. Kamala Harris was trying to get to the left of Bernie Sanders. She was trying to get to the left of Elizabeth Warren, and you really see that in a lot of these answers, and I want to walk our viewers through a little bit of what she said. Let's just take immigration and look at what she said here. She said on immigration, she made this open-ended pledge to end immigrant detention. She said she supported taxpayer-funded gender transition surgeries for detained migrants. She also said she
taxpayer-funded gender transition surgeries for detained migrants. She actually said she supported that.
She both wrote and answered in the affirmative when she was asked this. Oh. And she said she also supported it for federal prisoners. Now, she also pledged to slash immigration detention by 50%, close all family and private facilities, and decrease funding for ICE, and then the end ICE detainers with local law enforcement.
I mean, these are things that, you know, it would be hard to think that you would come up with taxpayer funding, gender transitions for detained migrants, and yet this, as you say, written and verbally.
Yeah, in fact, even Aaron Bernett can't believe it. I mean, holy crap. I mean, just say those things tonight, Donald Trump. I'm begging you, please. Just say, you said this and you believe that, and you say your values haven't changed. That means you must still believe it. I mean, that's all you have to do. I could do the debate. I don't have the discipline, but honestly, that's all you have to do. One after another. Every time they ask you a question, your answer is, let me ask you this, Carmela. Boom, bam, pow. I mean, that's all I've got. And by the way, James Carville thinks Trump's walking into a trap.
The press is already going to say she won no matter what she does.
We'll see. This is going to be really
She can
fun.
barbecue a cat there on stage.
This is going to be cool. Well, she lives in Ohio, you know. She's Haitian. By the way, if any Haitians listening, I want to find out about your voodoo cat eating and the duck strangling. Oh, my God. 3:15, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder.
Is that a euphemism?
We got a lot, baby. Stand by.
XTRA 106.3 is committed to bringing you the local and national perspective you need and hearing your voice leading up to the election.
Hey, it's a Kimmer. Trump wanted 3 debates, but the girl said, oh, it's too scary. Let's just do one. And there's only one place in Atlanta to hear the debate tonight at 9 o'clock. You can listen at 106.3 FM or the XTRA 106.3 app. Download it right now.
Proud to be Atlanta's conservative news and talk station, XTRA 106.3 and the XTRA app.
This September, Diamonds Direct's ultimate offer is back, stronger than ever. Diamonds Direct helps you get the perfect jewelry gift with 0% interest. That's right, enjoy 5 years of 0% financing on any Diamonds Direct purchase. It's your chance to get her the perfect ring with 0 interest and comfortable monthly payments that fit your budget. But act fast. This offer ends September 30th. For details and more, visit diamondsdirect.com. Spread your payments over 5 years with 0 interest on approved credit. Only at Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
Are you looking for something simple but delicious, sweet but also savory? Discover Schumann Farms Sweet Onions. Schumann Farms is a 3rd-generation family farm with the Real Sweet brand and Mr. Buck's brand sweet onions. Each brand brings savory, sweet deliciousness to every meal. Whether you're grilling, sautéing, or simply adding a fresh crunch to your salad, Schumann Farms has you covered. Look for Schumann Farms Real Sweet brand and your Mr. Buck's brand sweet onions at your grocery store and taste the difference for yourself. Schumann Farms, the Georgia family farm growing tradition and the world's sweetest onions.
With the upcoming election, an assassination attempt on President Trump, wars overseas, inflation, and stock market volatility, these are uncertain times. Do you have a plan? Are you prepared today to have a worry-free tomorrow? If you haven't been to True Prep, now is the time. True Prep is locally owned and operated by Joey and Matthew, who are Georgia Tech graduates. Visit True Prep on Cobb Parkway in Marietta or visit online at trueprep.com. That's TRUprep.com.
It's the unsung hero of your home, your garage door. You never think about it. You just hit the button and it opens until it doesn't. Hi, I'm Dan Watkins, owner of All 4 Seasons Garage and Entry Doors. So you're ready for a new garage door. At All 4 Seasons, we offer fast service, affordable prices, and a huge selection of styles, colors, and custom features. Improve your curb appeal, lower your energy bill, secure your home, and increase your property value. When trust matters, trust us. All the number 4 Seasons Garages.com.
Have you considered securing your family's future, protecting your hard-earned assets, navigating complex legal matters with ease? Nelson Elder Care Law is here to guide and empower you and your loved ones. As a family-owned and family-focused business, our mission is to exceed your expectations, offering absolute assurance and peace of mind. With our trademarked Absolute Protection Trust and expertise in customized estate planning, Medicaid crisis solutions, probate administration, guardianship, and conservatorship, Nelson Elder Care Law protects what matters most to you. Imagine a team dedicated to safeguarding your legacy every step of the way. Our flat fees ensure transparency, and our customized plans prioritize your family's specific needs. Are you worried about protecting your family and your legacy after you're gone? Let us help you ensure you're absolutely protected from whatever curveballs life may throw your way. Schedule a complimentary legacy planning meeting with our legal team in Marietta or Woodstock today. Contact us at 678-250-9355 or visit at nelsoneldercarelaw.com.
I love ABBA. Always have, always. I've got a bunch of these on my Magic Music stick. And on this day in 2021, 3 years ago today, ABBA returned to the top 10 British singles chart for the first time in almost 40 years. Dancing Queen. It wasn't this one that made the return, though. See that girl? Yeah, watch that scene, baby. Digging the Dancing Queen. Don't Shut Me Down was the one that made debut at number 9, beginning their 20th top 10 single. The group's last single to reach the top 10 on Britain's charts was One of Us, peaked at number 3 in 1981. And I have those are none of the ones I have. But anyway, ABBA, I love ABBA. Good group. And again, they turned down $1 billion to go on a world tour. $1 billion. $1 billion. Lordy. Our birthday list includes Bill O'Reilly, 75 years old today, still doing stuff. I heard him being interviewed today on the show before us with Blake and Riley, or what the hell?
Clay and Buck.
Buck and Clay and Buck. I get names mistake. By the way, this is very exciting. Flounder, we're going to play the sound that I thought we had and didn't have, and then you found. This is very exciting to me. The Kimmer, little things, ladies and gentlemen, little things. I swear to God, teeny little, that's what she's, I know all the things. Hey, give me a break. I've been around. The thing, I saw this thing in history and said, ooh. So I go into Flounder. I said, we got to play this song. We got to play the intro to this thing from 1955. And he says, okay. So he finds it, and then I go in there, and he says, it's just music. There's no. I said, that's not it. And Pete says, that's all I remember. And oh, crap. So that was what I wanted to play. Wasn't there, was gone. And then all of a sudden, Flounder says, I found it. Ladies and gentlemen, what made me very happy when he said that, and something I hope you enjoy as well, will happen on this day for the very first time, a TV debut in 1955.
Starring James Arnett as Matt
Dillon. And say hi to Festus. Mr. Dillon. Chestnut. It's Chester, sir.
Why did you put us through that?
Gunsmoke. It lasted for 20 freaking years. I mean, what a and James Arnett, of course, was the brother of Airplanes. What's his name? The blonde guy.
Peter
Graves.
I was a Bonanza man myself.
Well, both of those. In fact, if the anniversary for Bonanza comes up, oh my God! But I'm saying, when Bonanza comes up for an anniversary thing, first or last episode, we're playing the Bonanza.
Well, everyone remembers that theme. That's a great theme.
Oh, my God. Are you critical of the Gunsmoke theme? Oh, my God. You just can't satisfy these people.
There's no comparison between Bonanza and that crap we just played. Please. There's no comparison.
I beg your pardon. Now, but we're talking about times.
I guarantee you walk into people on the street and you say, what's a Bonanza theme? And a lot of them would get it over the age of maybe 40. But have them hum the Gunsmoke theme, and most of them couldn't remember it.
What's that got to do with anything?
That's a better song.
Oh, my God.
That's what's got to do with it.
Well, so is Help Me Rhonda by the Beach Boys. I mean, we can say a lot of things that are better than somebody else.
That's got tie
what the hell's that got to do with me playing the thing for the thing on the anniversary? How can I play Bonanza when it's not Bonanza? My God, man. By the way, anyway, debate tonight, kind of like what we're doing here today.
Yes, that's true.
Incidentally, I mean, really, seriously, they're still freaked out about the mics. In fact, hold on a second. We got so much. This is incredible. As it turned out, even at the last minute, Carmela, the shiftless and lazy vice president, had been objecting. She was hoping that she could do what she did during when she was confronting the Supreme Court nominees and cabinet members during Senate hearings. You'll recall she was vicious when she completely interrupted in the middle of all their testimony to do her fact-checking. And she was hoping to do exactly that one. She wanted the mics open all the time because she wanted to attack Donald. She wasn't afraid that Donald Trump was going to. I'm sorry. she was not concerned that she would be benefited by Donald Trump commenting, making snide remarks while she was talking. She wanted the mics open so that she could interrupt Donald Trump while he was talking to contradict everything he said as a lie. And that would, can you imagine if she, remember during the Supreme Court hearings and the hearings on the issues for the Supreme Court, she interrupted and challenged and they loved her for it. They said, boy, she really showed her stuff like a prosecutor. And that's what the plan was. And or even staff said it was a bad set of rules for someone like Biden who needed to get protected. They never should have been on the debate stage. Now they're stuck with the same rule. She wanted to do the same way she laced into Trump's Supreme Court nominees and cabinet members during Senate hearings. That's exactly why they wanted the mics open.
She was dealing with Supreme Court people, judges that aren't used to that and aren't used to fighting back like that. Donald Trump would eviscerate her if she tried that on him.
Well, on the other hand, when arguing, all of a sudden they say, boy, she really stood up for herself. I can see where she would want that.
No matter what she does, they're going to say she won it and she stood up for herself. But she also had that little ploy, I'm talking.
Right,
don't interrupt me. Don't mansplain to me.
That's why they wanted the mics open. Anything they could do so that she would interrupt Donald Trump from policies. I mean, these people are, my God. And again, what's killing me now when the mics are closed, the host is going to be able to say what, if someone was talking under his breath or if she's talking and Trump, you know it's going to be like this. I can't help thinking about this. The host is saying, well, she's speaking and Donald Trump's mumbling something on said, Donald Trump just called her a tramp. He called her a dirty, rotten tramp. All right, now back to the debate. I mean, they're going to do everything they can do.
We were just assured by Clay and Buck that the ABC head guy is supposedly, even though the head of Disney ABC or something is a woman that's best friends with Kamala, basically.
And by the way, a couple of things. Point out on her economic policies, I hope Trump does something like this. And again, these are two cliches that I've been using lately, and I'm going to say them again today. This is if Trump could make the point about the Democrats' economic policy. They think in the Democrat Party that it's a positive that when you were filling up your gas tank under Donald Trump, your gas tank would take $40. Now it's way better that your gas tank takes $75. They think that's improvement. They think, boy, you got more value for your gas tank than you did under Donald Trump. And the second one, I think this is hysterical. They believe that if you gain 10 pounds in 1 month, and you only gain 5 pounds in the second month, and you only gain 3 pounds in the third month, you're losing weight. I mean, seriously, that's like an inflation. If inflation's 9% in February and it's 4% in March and it's 3% in April, it doesn't mean that it went down from 9% to 3%. It went 9% plus 4% plus another 3%. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Will he be able to get that across tonight that everything's worse? Everything's worse.
And the other thing, they have to make the point that she keeps calling for the new change. They're the ones who broke it. I mean, change from what? What you just did? That's all you have to say. Change. When you change from what you've been doing? Yeah, I agree with you. We definitely need to change from what you've been doing.
Her platform, baby, talking about you need a platform. We need your principles, what you stand on. They basically, literally copied and pasted from the Biden platform and put it on her website.
In fact,
it's the exact same
I've got it right here. I got it right here on my phone on X. This is unbelievable.
And they looked it up, and they found out it was copied and pasted.
Yep, here it is right here. The challenge for the Harris campaign was trying to be the change agent. They finally added an issues section to her website. It includes a slew of policies that the campaign previously outlined, as well as sections on productive civil rights. So, unfortunately, it was undermined by a simple problem that it was exactly the parts of the platform copied under Joe Biden's campaign page. They just copied they looked up the code. They looked up the code for the source code data literally shows it was copied. She came up with an issues page. They just plagiarized it from Joe Biden, and she's calling for change. Holy,
change for, she just told us two months ago, Bidenomics is working, that Biden was the best president since Abraham Lincoln, and now we need a new tact and a new change. What?
There we go.
And he also has to hit her on why did you lie to us and tell us that Joe was doing okay?
Yeah, that's right.
That you said he was good for 4 more years.
That's right.
You didn't give him 4 more weeks.
Yeah. Honestly, and again, all he has to do is ask those questions, or ask of her, or ask of the panel. How come you ask her this question? How come you're not? I mean, he needs to make sure that people know the questions that need to be answered, because she'll never answer them. There's no way. In fact, on the fracking, again, I've got to calm down a little bit here. And by the way, we're going to talk about the Afghan withdrawal and the families that were just awarded Gold Star congressional honors, by the way, today, and also some heartbreaking testimony about illegal immigrants murdering, raping, and abusing our American children, by the way, coming up too. Oh, now I totally forgot what I was going to say.
See, that's just your tangent. No. You've been hoisted by your own petard.
Well, it was about the debate tonight, and I wanted to make a point. Oh my God, I hate when I do this. I just
you and Shannon Burke constantly forgetting your train of thought. I hope I don't get that way when I'm your age.
Well, I'll do this instead. Here's another thing that came up concerning. Let's see. Hold on a second here.
What? Say it.
I was going to talk about the Vernon Jones thing.
Oh, yeah. Well, after the break.
We'll do that after the break. And Mayor, we got a Snopes update here on that. Anyway, we got so much more in the debate. We'd love to hear your comments about what do you think, what's going to happen. 404-741-1230.
And some great tweets coming up.
Pete's tweets and Holy Crap at Sports and Flounder's Funnies. And we got it all right up till 6 o'clock. Ever Pete and Flounder. Look out.
It's time for your Georgia headlines, presented by RBM of Atlanta, your Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964.
The 72-year-old woman is dead after a man driving a Ford F-150 was reportedly going too fast and unable to stop at a red light at the Georgia 400 and Jotham Down Road intersection in Forsyth County. Investigators say the 30-year-old driver crashed the Ford into a Toyota RAV4 driven by 72-year-old Julie Waters Lamb, killing her. Deputies are investigating the crash and have not yet said whether the driver of the Ford will face charges. Atlanta police are investigating a death in Piedmont Park after a bicyclist reportedly saw a pair of feet sticking out on a trail and noticed a weapon near the body. Police say the person found may have died by suicide, but the death remains under investigation. Atlanta police detectives say they may need to rely on the official autopsy report to provide more clarity on the case.
For more on Georgia politics and the latest breaking news, follow XTRA 106.3 on social media or download the XTRA 106.3 app.
We're smart, we care. We're Central Heating and Air.
Feeling the heat, Atlanta? Don't let it get you down. Stay cool with Carrier products from Central Heating and Air Conditioning. Their Carrier systems are designed to help keep you comfortable even during the hottest days. With advanced cooling technology, you'll enjoy a refreshing home no matter how high the temperature rises. And right now, you can save up to $2,000 on a new Carrier system. That's right, up to $2,000 off to ensure you stay cool all summer long. Plus, their Carrier systems come with excellent warranties for added peace of mind. At Central Heating and Air Conditioning, they pride themselves on better service through knowledge. And right now, you can save up to $2,000 on a new Carrier system. That's right, up to $2,000 off to ensure you stay cool all summer long. Turn to Atlanta's Carrier experts. Call 770-GET-HEAT or visit centralheat.com today.
We're smart, we care. We're Central Heating and Air.
Hey, Jimmy, what's going on?
Oh, hey, Bobby. It's kind of embarrassing. I'm having deck problems.
You're having deck problems?
Hey, keep it down. It's embarrassing.
Now, look, there's plenty of guys in the neighborhood with deck problems. What's the matter with yours?
Well, it's small and old compared to yours.
All right, let's not make this a deck measuring competition. You just need to call Excavations. They've seen decks of all sizes, shapes, and colors. Good news is Excavations can build you a sweet new deck that you'll love to show off to your friends and neighbors. Don't worry, Jimmy. We're going to get you some big deck energy.
Hi, this is Candace with Excavations, and have I got a tip for you. Don't feel ashamed of your deck. Excavations can build an outdoor living space that you'll be proud of. And with our Exavision, we'll be able to show you your home's transformation before you even begin the work. Keep the HOA off your deck and give us a call today for decks, windows, siding, roofing, and more. Or visit us at exovations.com to get inspired.
Have you heard about Sonder and their Georgia-based Medicare Advantage health plans? Sonder Health Plans is committed to revolutionizing healthcare, making it straightforward, personal, and affordable. Call
Call them and ask if you qualify for their fantastic $400 grocery card offer and $0 premiums. They've even got their own radio show and podcast called Weekend Wellness, dedicated to keeping all Georgians healthy and happy at every age. Call 800-331-2928 or visit SonderHealthPlans.com. Sonder Health Plans is an HMO with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Sonder Health Plans depends on contract renewal.
My name is Pamela Conley. I've worked for Bruce Hagen for 22 years. It's been the best years of my life, and not everyone can say that about their jobs. I'm the intake specialist for new clients, so I am the voice you hear when you call our office and the first face you see when you come by. I love sharing my years of experience with people and alongside Bruce, helping them through what is so often a really hard time. My name is Pamela Conley, and I work for Bruce Hagen. Let him work for you. Hagen-Law.
Wife, what are you done? Never tell the wives. Trust me. Always, to keep that to yourself, sir. Anyway, but I can't. That's amazing. Like $3,000 for Bob Dylan's harmonica, autographed and signed with a case.
That's pretty good.
Wow. Our birthday list includes Jose Feliciano, 79. Blind Puerto Rican singer, famous for Light My Fire and the theme song to Chico and the Man, among other things, Feliciano. And, in fact, was it Jose...
Yeah, Detroit Tigers, and he got booed mercifully with the Star Spangled Banner. 67 series, I believe.
And in fact, if I'm not mistaken,
68 series.
68. And I can tell you that. Oh my God, you want to hear a story?
Let's hear it.
1968, during the World Series of the Cardinals, I was in Vietnam and listening to American Forces Vietnam radio. And when he sang that song, the military people went nuts, hating and screaming and yelling about it was a thing.
Yeah, Ernie Harwell felt bad because he invited him, and they years later, I think, invited him back to do it again. And they didn't boo him so much that time.
Again, 68 was a bad year.
People weren't ready for it in 68.
No. I remember myself and everybody around me and all this stuff. And oh, man.
6 Degrees of Jose Feliciano.
Okay.
Let's see. The year was probably 1985, walking down Plaza de la Revolucion in Tijuana.
Oh, yes.
And I hear the dulcet tones of what was his famous song, Jose Feliciano?
Light My Fire.
No, that was the Doors song, but he did a remake of that. So, yeah, he might have been doing that. So we hear there's something going on, and go, hey, sounds like Jose Feliciano. And we look up, he's playing a restaurant on the second floor above a pharmacy where you got your free penicillin.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's on the porch playing.
I'll be damned. In
Tijuana.
I went there a couple of times. That's hey, senor, you like me to wash your car for you? Yes, wash my car. Here's $3 and you take care of my car. Or it won't be there when you come. We all pay. Of course, we're absolutely young man.
Hey, Mr. Young girls.
Yes.
Young girls. And if you had a girl with you, go, hey, get the blanket for your wife. And if you said no, you go, get a blanket for your other wife.
Yeah.
Donkey show.
Mister, we'll watch your car for you for $2. Okay. You and your friend, here's another $2. I want to have it here when I come back.
You're an idiot to park your car over there. You park on the San Diego side and you walk over.
I did to find out the hard way. Anyway, on this day in 1927, I'm not making this up. This is actually a true situation. On this day in 1927, there was a thing going on in the world where stunt people would get in an airplane and would try to cross the ocean, try to cross the Atlantic. 1927, we're talking. They were stunt flyers. And currently, I'm reading this as an actual thing. Currently, the odds in 1927 of completing the trip across the Atlantic are 50-50. But there are so many flyers with no experience trying to cross the Atlantic, the casualty number is growing like crazy. They don't make it. So now governments around the world are getting together in 1927 to say, geez, we ought to have a couple of laws in place. I know. Let's make sure that if you're going to fly a plane, you have to have a license. You didn't have to have a license to fly an airplane. You could just go do it. And that's why they would never really made it across. I mean, hey, I know. Maybe we have some kind of qualification or something. I don't know. I mean, my God, how ridiculous!
Yankee round eye.
How ridiculous is that? Jeez. I mean, would you take a chance on something that would kill you if it was 50-50?
I would fly a plane, but not over the Atlantic Ocean.
Well, if you didn't know what you were doing, I mean, be flying for a few minutes in a plane with a pilot is one thing, but getting on yourself and getting in a plane and thinking you can make it across the Atlantic.
I have flown a plane with no knowledge whatsoever of how to fly a plane. But I wouldn't go. Well, actually, we did go over water.
Well, the White Cliffs of Dover.
Yeah, we did.
We spent $280,000 for a 20-minute flight. It was an incredible
an hour and a half.
Pete Davis here, ladies and gentlemen. All right, 3:40. We have actual stuff here today.
The headline, the Daily Mail headline.
Daily Mail. Again, Daily Mail did a story, come out with a story about San Francisco Mayor Willie Brown. A profile of him by Diane Sawyer from 1995 has come out. And in the portrait, they called him a rogue politician, notorious, flamboyant, flashy clothes, a lot of chicks, fine women, stuff like that. And part of the interview, we played it earlier, we'll play it again later. Part of the interview shows him dancing with this young chick. He's 60, the young chick is in her 20s, and a woman goes up to Willie Brown and says, "Oh, is that your daughter?" And she goes, "Ha ha ha! No,
yeah, Daddy."
It was Carmela." And then the headline is, "Who's your daddy?"
Mr. Premature playing of the.
That was perfect.
Well, we all have that problem every now and then.
Who's your daddy?
If she's too pretty, I'm sorry, you're too pretty.
I can't help it. You have to get used to it. I'll buy you something nice. You like fast cars? I don't know.
You say that like you got a lot of practice saying that.
Oh, sure, after all these years.
You'll get used to it. Oh, my
you're
God.
just so beautiful.
You'll get used to it.
They get you something nice at the store.
Your money's on the table, chocolate.
342, look out. Give her Pete and Flounder, 404-741-1230.
Pete's tweet.
Well, do we should shorten it.
Well, we said 3:32 and we're 10 minutes late.
It's 3:42 and we got tweets and memes and Pete's and we got Pete's tweets.
Hey, Daily Mail says Foo Fighters Dave Grohl admits cheating on wife and fathering secret baby.
Whoa. Seriously?
He's a rock and roller. Does it really surprise you? Please.
Well, did he admitted it? I mean,
yeah, he admitted it.
Well,
he got called, obviously.
Oh, God.
All right.
No.
Jeff Hollinger. Friend of the show, I'm
Friend
sure.
of the show, Jeff. Absolutely.
I haven't asked
Sports
him,
guy. Is he still, in fact, he's still doing
Yeah,
Channel
he's
5?
with the GPB, I believe, now.
Oh, that's right. He was at Channel 5 forever.
Yeah, and if you follow him on Facebook, you don't follow, you got to ask and he lets you in or something. But he does these great vignettes of stories about Atlanta from now and the past, and Georgia does some really cool stuff. Anyway, he posted the Colonnade restaurant. You ever eaten there?
I know of it. I've not.
You've never been to the Colonnade?
Wait a minute. I think I have eaten at the Colonnade.
Where is it?
God, it was in the 70s. And I can't remember. I can't remember.
You could go to this street and you could get a massage and a fine meal like a block away from each other.
I can't
Cheshire
remember.
Bridge.
I was thinking Piedmont Avenue. Cheshire Bridge. Okay, I know that. I was in that area, Midtown area.
An Atlanta institution They have new owners, the co-founders of something called Lingering Shade, which is a cocktail bar on the Beltline. So they're younger than what they're used to over there. They bought the city's second oldest eatery, which is the Colonnade. Yeah. Been serving folks since 1927. Of course, it feels like 1957 in there. It's fried chicken, Southern food, and waiters that, let's just say, were ahead of their time in some ways, but they're very prim and proper.
Very, very
and you sit at that little bar.
And very faithful to their
and
services.
drink martinis.
Yep.
You drink so interesting what they're going to do with the drink menu. So this begs the question, what's the oldest restaurant in Atlanta?
Manual
Founder? Do you know? It's not. I got my Manual Security T-shirt.
Atkins Park.
How did you know that?
Atkins Park?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
It's Atkins Park there in Virginia
I'll be
Highlands.
damned.
Alpine burger with a rum and Coke. That was my go-to meal in the 80s.
They said their chicken fingers and fries used to be unbelievable.
They had a great menu. I don't know if it's. I haven't been there in years.
I'll bet I've been there in 40 years.
And that little alleyway that you would sit outside, thinking you're sitting outside, it's just an alley.
Well, that whole oh my God.
I loved Atkins Park. Anyway, that was good. So they've been serving since they were a deli back in 1922.
Wow.
It's a cool building.
No idea.
Bumper sticker I saw on the back of a Hyundai SUV this morning as I said in Atlanta traffic, remembering why I moved.
Yes.
The sticker read, "I want to kiss every bug, but they are so small and my lips are so strong."
Okay. This is a girl driving or a boy driving?
I didn't look. I just got around them very quickly. Right under that sticker was another sticker for Kikkoman soy sauce.
Oh, well, Kikkoman is well
I like
known.
it. That's my.
I use Kikkoman. I have a bottle of Kikkoman.
The lower sodium one. It's pretty good. And Dennis posted this today, to be serious.
Yeah.
On this night, September 10th, 2001, 246 people went to sleep in preparation for their morning flights. 2,606 people went to sleep in preparation for work in the morning. 343 firefighters went to sleep in preparation for their next shift. 60 police officers went to sleep in preparation for their morning patrol. 8 paramedics went to sleep in preparation for their morning shift of saving lives. 1 canine went to bed a good boy. None of them saw past 10 a.m. the next morning, September 11th, 2001. In the blink of an eye, their lives cut short. Tonight, as you prepare for bed in preparation for your life tomorrow, kiss the ones you love, snuggle a little tighter, and never take 1 second of your life for granted.
9/11 tomorrow.
That's tomorrow.
Pete Davis, I would like you to repeat that later on in the show, toward the end of the show. I actually hadn't even been thinking about 9/11.
Every year, it's less and less on your mind.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to go nuts tomorrow, 9/11. I'm obviously the day is going to be, thinking about the whole thing. But you're right. I had not thought about 9/11 on 9/10.
Think of the analogies we're going to see tomorrow if one of them just bombs tonight. The comparisons to
Yeah, right. And by the way, Flounder, well, I'll tell you what, we're going to do cut 3 here in a second. There were 2 things going on in the Capitol today which are of importance, and you're going to hear about them and some actual comments about them, too. One was the remembering, once again, of the disastrous, disgraceful, un-American, treasonous withdrawal from Afghanistan by this administration, and the families whose children were butchered were given the Congressional Gold Medal today, the highest civilian honor you can get. And the second story is the testimony by mothers and those who represent the families of little girls raped, murdered, brutalized by illegal aliens. A hearing in Congress today, and you're going to hear some comments from both of those next with the Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. 347 on 106.3 Extra right here. The legend Neil Bortz is only on Extra 106.3. Hey, it's a camera. How's it going? Here's what you missed from the Talkmaster.
If you want people to have more pie, bake a bigger pie. Don't take the pie that's already there and start taking pieces away from other people and redistributing them. How do you bake a bigger pie? With a growing free market economy.
Catch Neil's commentary every day on Extra 106.3 or listen anytime on the Extra 106.3 app.
The EQE SUV electrifies the spirit, soul, and body of the Mercedes-Benz SUV. User-friendly technology meets thoughtful utility, thorough refinement, and earth-friendlier power. Satisfying for both drivers and passengers with innovations that only Mercedes-Benz can deliver. Experience the all-electric 2024 Mercedes-Benz EQE 350 SUV today. Lease one today for just $569 per month for 36 months with $7,063 due at signing, exclusively from RBM of Atlanta in Sandy Springs. Contact RBM of Atlanta for details on this vehicle and many other models, and visit today to see how to qualify. Special lease rate available only to qualified customers exclusively from Mercedes-Benz Financial Service through RBM of Atlanta, Sandy Springs through September 30th, 2024. Excludes tax, tag, title, and Georgia Lemon Law fees. Contact RBM of Atlanta for details on this and other exciting offers. Visit rbmofatlanta.com or call us at 770-390-0700 for details.
This time of year, there are two things you can't stop: the leaves falling off the trees and the prices falling at Solomon Brothers Jewelers. If you are planning a fall wedding, birthday, or anniversary, there's never been a better time to visit Solomon Brothers Jewelers. Percentage Week is back for 1 week only, September 16th through the 22nd. This is your chance to save up to 60% off on engagement rings, wedding bands, earrings, necklaces, bracelets, and more. Everything in all three of our showrooms will be discounted up to 60% off. Now is the best time to save on the engagement ring and wedding bands of your dreams. Choose from all of the top designers in the industry, or say I love you with a beautiful pair of diamond earrings or a tennis bracelet. Remember, no matter the price, you'll find something nice at Solomon Brothers. So visit us for Percentage Week, September 16th through the 22nd, going on in all three of our showrooms in Buckhead, Alpharetta, and Sharpsburg, or online at solomonbrothers.com.
Atlanta, it's Mark from Atlanta Safe House. The Safe House crew hopes everyone is enjoying their vacation this summer. We know the criminals are watching and waiting for you to leave so they can bust in and steal your stuff. But hey, there is a solution. Come purchase a quality safe from Atlanta Safe House. And with summer rebates and specials, you can save hundreds and hundreds of dollars on a quality safe. And remember, don't let an illegal or crackhead deliver or move your safe. They could very well know your combination. So drop by the showroom or go to atlantasafehouse.com.
Millions of guys suffer from erectile dysfunction. That's 1 in 4 men. And I can tell you, I'm one of them.
If you or someone you know suffer from ED, Peyronie's disease, or PE, here's 38-year emergency room doctor and founder of Total Body Therapy of Georgia, Dr. Eric Deal.
Patients who enter my office are often frustrated, hopeless, depressed, and embarrassed. I understand the problem, and I'm going to help you fix it. There are lots of competitors that don't have the credentials that I have. When you go to other clinics, you're not going to see a board-certified physician with the experience that I have. When you come to our clinic, you're going to see me. There's just not one therapy that can solve these complex issues. I'll do a complete history and physical prior to any treatment that we use. Take it from me, Dr. Deal. When it's not hard, it's really hard.
Call Dr. Deal for your free one-on-one evaluation and resolve your ED, Peyronie's, or PE issues. Total Body Therapy of Georgia, 404-777-1911, 404-777-1911. Online at stopmyed.com.
I see. A civilian. By the way, they weren't allowed to have a sidearm as a civilian.
With a sidearm.
Anyway. I tried to get a Thompson once. They took it away from me. That's a whole other story. 354. But I don't want to talk about it. Our birthday list includes Ryan Phillippe, 50 years old. Now, it says here Bob Lee Swagger on Shooter. Must be the TV version. Because the movie version of Shooter, Ryan Phillippe. The actor. You've seen him a million times. He's a really good actor.
I know him. I don't know the movie.
Yeah, the movie Shooter was with Marky Mark.
Yeah.
And that naughty little thing with a love chin that I love and you say as a boy. She has a sister. The sister was in The Girl with the Tattoo. Their family owns a football team. Rooney Mara. Cara Mara, whatever her name was. Yeah,
Kate Mara.
Kate Mara, the sexy one. Yeah, you say as a boy.
Thank God we got to that. By the way, Rollo, the king of Norman, France, is on the phone.
Rollo, hey buddy, you're on the radio. What's going on? Hello.
You mean Rocco?
Rocco, Rollo.
Moose, Rocco.
I'm afraid from now on, it's Rollo.
We like Rollo.
Hey, before I get to what I call when you get home tonight, go watch C-SPAN where they're laying Andrew Cuomo to bear, just opening him up and filleting him right to his face. Yes.
What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean?
Well, because of what he did during the pandemic. They're just opening him up and laying him out. But I got the
putting all the old people in the death homes, basically. I'm sorry. Yeah, Rocco, yes, sir. The other thing was what? Yes, sir.
I got the winning strategy for President Trump tonight. You know how when somebody calls in your show and you turn every call toward you? Tonight, every question should be turned toward three subjects.
Yeah. The border, energy border, and economy.
and the economy.
Yeah.
Through every question, I don't care if you ask who the president of Sweden is, turn it toward energy, the border, and the economy. Every single question.
You know, that's incredible, Rocco, because that's exactly what I was saying. I have a note here that I was doing that entire program. Oh, sorry, I wasn't talking about
you did that during Vietnam, right? When you were in Vietnam, you did the same thing.
Very funny. It was an important thing to me. I thought it was an important historical moment. Sorry.
When you met Carol Burnett in Vietnam.
No, I didn't meet Carol Burnett in Vietnam. Good God.
It was Vicki Lawrence.
No, I didn't meet Vicki Lawrence in Vietnam. I met Ed Begley Sr. in Vietnam. Thank you very much, among other things. And Pat Sajak, and I could go on and on. But anyway, that's...
Well, is that before or after you hit the home run with penny loafers?
That was way before. Way before. Very funny. Great talking.
I got to fill up the bingo card somehow.
All right, well, there you go. You and your freaking YouTube mafia, man. Thank you, Rocco. 357, Kimber, Pete, and Flounder. 404-741-1230. Oh, by the way, we're going to do a little Flounder's Funny here in a second, if you don't mind. Pete just got the latest on this Dave Grohl business at Foo Fighters. He's 54. Dave Grohl admits cheating on his wife and knocking up his girlfriend. He says, I've recently become a father of a new baby daughter born outside of my marriage. I plan to be a loving and supportive parent to her. I love my wife and my children, and I'm doing everything I can to regain their trust and earn their forgiveness. We're grateful for your consideration toward all the children involved as we move forward together. Well, they've been married for 21 years, have 3 kids. She was a model and TV producer, and Dave Grohl talked earlier about the importance of family. Especially when you have a little something on the side. That's probably the best way for you, Dave. Anyway, Flounder, we have time for a little cowabunga here of little
Absolutely.
358 here with the Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder.
I'm a Democrat, but the Democrats do suck. Because they don't ever do what we want them to do, right? Being a Democrat and a progressive is it's like talking to Alexa. You're like, hey, Democrats, could we get student debt loan forgived? And they're like, I'm sorry, I don't think I heard you right. Did you say start a war with Iran? Hey, Democrats, could we get a cool young progressive candidate? They're like, I'm sorry, I don't think we heard you right. Did you say you want an elderly man who spent the 90s locking up black men for a drug his son still does? Is that what you...
Who's that very amusing
Mr.
fellow?
Andy Haynes.
Oh, well, write him down. We got to do a lot of him. We can do him every day.
I've done him. Well, we've played some of his comedy before.
Yeah, well, we definitely. That's a good one. He's a very amusing fellow. What?
Nothing.
Oh, he looks very curious for some reason. I think something happened. All right, coming up, you're going to hear more about the disastrous Afghan withdrawal, and you'll hear from the Speaker of the House finally saying the words that those families did never hear from the administration. Also, Tyreek Hill, holy cow. Talk about a snotty, entitled... Well, we'll talk about that and the cops and the agent and all of it. Coming up at Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, 4 o'clock. Here's the number, 404-741-1230 on 106.3. Look out.
and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey Broadcasting Station. This hour is presented by Atlanta's Safe House.
A highway shooter remains on the loose. Lisa Brady, Fox News. Day 4 of the manhunt in Kentucky for Joseph Couch, accused of opening fire on cars Saturday south of Lexington before disappearing in the heavily wooded area around a national park. State Trooper Scotty Pennington urging the public again to take care.
Make sure you're being vigilant when you go home, that you're checking maybe your camera, your Ring camera. You're checking your security system before you go to the house.
5 people were injured in the shooting on Interstate 75. The top court in Missouri just ruling an abortion rights amendment will appear on the November ballot. The proposal would make abortion rights part of the state constitution. The Missouri Supreme Court ruling in favor of it just hours before today's deadline for ballot changes. The countdown continues in Philadelphia for tonight's Trump-Harris debate, where the vice president may have a chance to explain changing positions on some key issues.
However, she's got to do it face-to-face with Trump, who she has never met before, and whose last debate sunk her boss's presidential bid. The Harris team now is setting expectations accordingly, even as they try to psych Trump out with ads and billboards in this area.
Fox's Jackie Heinrich in Philadelphia. Former New York Governor Andrew Cuomo blaming former President Trump at a House hearing on COVID deaths in nursing homes.
His lies and denials delayed our response, let the virus spread, and this country never caught up.
Cuomo has also blamed federal policies for a directive forcing nursing homes to readmit COVID-positive patients. Ohio Republican Congressman Brad Wenstrup chairs the Select Committee on the Pandemic.
The directive was not consistent with federal guidance, nor consistent with medical doctrine.
The committee report accuses Cuomo of downplaying the nursing home death rate and personally editing a state health department report to steer blame away from his office, which he also denies. A mixed day on Wall Street, the Dow down 92 points at the bell. America is listening to Fox News.
For anyone living with everyday aches and pains, there's a lot of things you can try. You know, tough it out, bite the bullet, grin and bear it. Or you can try something that has helped so many other people, Relief Factor. Relief Factor is a 100% drug-free daily supplement that helps your body fight pain naturally. Developed by doctors, Relief Factor uses a unique formula of natural ingredients that addresses the inflammation where pain starts. And Relief Factor doesn't just mask pain for a short time. It helps reduce or even eliminate it all day, every day. Wherever you're hurting, your back, neck, joints, or muscles, in about 3 weeks or less, you'll see a difference and rediscover what it's like to feel better and live better. So if everyday pain is affecting your life, don't go with the mind over matter approach. Try Relief Factor instead. Go to ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4-RELIEF and save on your first order. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF. Fight pain naturally with Relief Factor.
There we go. Here we go. Little Beagle action there for you. Kimmer, Pete, Flounder, 403. How you doing? No, we got a both of them right up, Rory. Stand by. I'm the tax man, baby, and here I come. 1966, the Beatles start a 6-week run at number 1 in America, the album chart with Revolver, their 9th U.S. chart topper. The title Revolver, like Rubber Soul before, is a pun referring both to a kind of handgun as well as the revolving motion of the record as it's played on a turntable. Hence, revolver. That's what they say, John. Anyway, we're going to get to Lori here in a second. First of all, something very bizarre is going on. If you haven't heard it, you're about to hear it here in just a second. Eric Swalwell, I guess this was part of the meeting they had today on the impact of immigration crime on American children, particularly young girls being raped and murdered and brutalized. And for some reason, have you seen the memes after the story broke out in Springfield, Ohio, about Haitians stealing ducks from the park and eating them, and then there was a corresponding story of people eating cats and taking neighborhood cats and eating them and cutting their heads off.
There's a video on Twitter of a lady being arrested in a driveway for eating a cat.
For eating a cat.
Well, we're at the stage where they're denying it's happening.
Yeah, now they're saying it's not true and it's all nonsense.
Next it'll be,
else.
well, it's not so bad that they're doing it, and then it'll be, you shouldn't be talking about it.
Yeah, you're a racist now if you say it's all Haitians, right? Whatever. Well, anyway, Flounder's got some sound here. The memes are all over the place about Donald Trump saving the ducks. I mean, there are memes of
riding a cat.
Right. I mean, it's just there's 1,000 memes of Donald Trump on cats and saving America's ducks, one or whatever. Well, this is unbelievable. Eric Swalwell, the punk who was caught in a honey trap by a Chinese spy, has got the balls to come out in public and start commenting on this as though this is a major issue in American politics today with what we're having the debate tonight. Here's Eric Swalwell on what's on his mind in Congress today about Donald Trump and the Democrats do.
What in the hell is this? The chairman tweets, protect our ducks and kittens in Ohio because he goes down some crazy rabbit hole, completely debunked that aliens are eating pets? My God. Are you okay, Mr. Chairman? Because last year, for a very long time, you tweeted and promoted Kanye West as he was calling for genocide against the Jews, and you kept it up. And now, when we have victims coming here, you're tweeting this nonsense. I don't know why you would do this. I hope you're okay. I don't know if the aliens who are eating your ducks are in the room with us right now, but Mr. Chairman, this is a serious issue. These people have loved ones who have been lost, and you tweeted this.
First of all, he's completely lying. You notice how he doesn't use the word illegal?
Yeah.
He just says aliens.
It's unbelievable. I mean,
like they're E.T.
Yeah.
And not Haitians.
This was supposed to be a hearing. And by the way, we're going to talk more about this in a second. First of all, is Lori still on the line? She's been holding on.
Yes, she is.
Lori, thanks for holding and calling. I appreciate it. You're on the radio. What's going on? What do you think?
Hey, guys.
Yeah, baby.
This just cracked me up. He is whining about a meme.
Yeah.
In Congress.
It's not real.
In Congress.
Congress, yeah. The floor of Congress, yeah.
But he is a Chinese woman.
Yeah.
Spy.
A hooker spy, yeah.
I hope, the people are waking up. That's what it is. They hate Trump so bad. I hope this is happening, that everything Trump does is turning into his goodness, because it is hilarious.
I know.
It's awful what's going on, but it is hilarious.
Well.
About the cats and the
I mean, they're just asking for it. I mean, it's hysterical. I wonder if that's going to come up in the debate tonight. I mean, this could go anywhere.
No. They are trying to stay away from this so far.
Yeah.
But it is so funny. But the cats are coming out and protesting against Palestine in Ohio. The Babylon Bee.
I love
it. It's just smearing their face.
Yeah.
This is, I love you guys.
Thanks, Lori.
And all
right, baby.
Tonight.
Have a great day, sweetie. Thanks. 408.
Peachy Keenan tweets, nobody cared when illegals were killing people in DUI crashes, raping them in shelters, strangling them on college campuses, beating cops in Times Square. But you eat one cat.
You're a cat eater. The man's a cat eater.
That's one way to describe it.
Oh, Lord. 408, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. We're going to do some more. In fact, let's do some more on that hearing right now. I'll do my birthday stuff later. And then we got to do the Tyreek Hill thing, too. Hold on a second. Here we go. This morning while I was doing, I work at home and then come in here, and then finish the show. Anyway, so while I'm working at home, I have Fox News on as I'm taking notes on listening to their morning show, radio guys, stuff like that. And this morning I was able to watch a little bit of the hearing on the testimony concerning migrant crime. You just heard Swalwell as part of that testimony about, I believe, the same meeting. Well, during the meeting, we're going to play soundbite number 4 here in the second flounder. First of all, there was the woman who represents at the hearing, represents many of the families who lost young children and many young girls to rape and murder and just horrible crimes by illegal alien invaders. And the woman testifying started telling the story. And she told the story of an 11-year-old girl who was home by herself. Her daddy is also an immigrant who came here legally, and she described them as most immigrants who come here legally are the most hardworking, patriotic, America-loving people there are, and the hardest working. And her father, the 11-year-old girl's father, walked to work. And he was walking to work, and there was a knock on the door or something, and she told him the story about the 11-year-old girl was home alone, and so she texted her father and said, "Daddy, is that you? Did you forget something?" And he never replied to her, and when she unlocked the chain of the door, the person who was there was known to her as a neighbor who was also an illegal immigrant. And then the woman started telling about what happened, and I had to stop watching. She was telling the story of how this respected illegal immigrant neighbor took it. She described how he was stalking her. They found evidence that he had been watching her, stalking her, knew her movements, knew her father's movements, and when her father left to go walk many miles to work, that's when he made his move and broke in and killed her, raped her, killed her. And I had to stop watching the story. It was that powerful. Well, here's another woman who spoke at the meeting today. Her name is Alexis Nungare. Her daughter was 12. And Alexis tells the story of 2 illegal immigrants crossed illegally from Venezuela. And here's what they did to her 12-year-old girl.
They proceeded to tell me how my daughter was murdered. She was strangled to death. She had no clothing from the waist down. Her hands and her ankles were tied and thrown under the bridge of water like she was nothing but garbage. Because of the Biden-Harris administration open border policies catch and release, they were enrolled in the Alternatives to Detention program. This meant that they were released into the United States. It was not even a full 3 weeks later that they would take my daughter, Jocelyn Nungare's life. They saw a young girl, my daughter, Jocelyn, and placed a target on her without her even knowing.
She told the committee she can't even fathom what her daughter was thinking, the amount of fear she was feeling in the last moments of her life. She did not deserve to have her life ripped away from her and our family. She had her entire life ahead of her because of these open border policies. Jim Jordan, the chairman of the committee, said we're trying to highlight the real cost of illegal immigration. It's a lot more than giving them some free room and board.
These military-age illegal aliens have broken the law here. Quit feeling sorry for them. Turn their ass in when you find out they're illegal. Turn them in. I don't know what will happen to them, but it may keep one little girl from being raped and murdered.
I mean, how long are we supposed to
put up with it?
Acknowledge and just say, well, this is what, part of our life now?
And they're laughing at us. They can come here and do it and get away with it.
So, honestly, I mean, how could this be possible? Has this ever happened in America before? Have you ever read anything about American history from the time, let's say, from 1900 on? I mean, in the 1800s, everything was kind of all, the Industrial Revolution, things were different, but the influx of immigrants really started from 1900. All of a sudden, they're all coming in from Italy and every place else, which is great. Okay, has anything like this ever happened in America before the Biden administration?
And when the Italians and Germans and everybody came over, they weren't raping and pillaging.
No, they wanted to be Americans. They had the American flag. Look at the freaking, Sopranos and the Godfather. I mean, they come over here to be Americans. They saw the Statue of Liberty and said, "Oh, God bless, I'm here. I'm an American. I'm an American." These people carry their Venezuelan gang memberships while they run muck
and their
across
Venezuelan
the freaking country.
They're coming over, military-age men carrying their flag over our border. That's called an invasion.
And the Democrats allowed it to happen. They did it deliberately. And when you complained about it, they called you a racist who didn't want brown people in the country to be Democrats. And they did it, and this is the result. This is the result. Dead little girls.
One word, deportation.
Can you imagine what was going through that 11-year-old girl's mind?
How is this thing still alive? How isn't someone that killed him in prison?
Two of them. The second case was two guys who slaughtered her and threw her in a creek like a piece of garbage.
I'm telling you, I'd get it through to someone in that prison to kill him.
Yeah, I'd kill him myself.
Well, you couldn't get in prison to do it. So you have to
visiting day. Have a little like a poison dart or something right in his eye through the gate. Anyway, 4-4. Well, that's kind of guy. I'm not a role model of this, people. You can say, tell your children in the car, that was wrong, honey. That was definitely.
I'm telling you, like I said earlier, their heads on pikes at the border.
Yeah, I like it. 4:14. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder have a little happy time here on the FB2 state.
Report brought to you by Southern Exteriors, the Southeast premier home exterior solution. Quality and precision you can rely on for over 20 years. Visit southernexteriors.co.
Politics aside for today, we're going to have that so-called debate tonight. I'll watch it and we'll talk about that tomorrow. It'll be interesting to see if Kamala can avoid some of her word coleslaw. Today is today. Today will be yesterday, tomorrow. Tomorrow will be today, tomorrow. Not kidding, folks. Look it up. And then Trump, of course, calling names, claiming the election was stolen, descending into the role of a mindless bully. Oh, boy. I do have a question today, though. I'm looking through my emails, and I'm trying to understand just what these email scammers are after and why there are so many Americans that get suckered by them every day. Let's take a look. First of all, there's the emails about all the Bitcoins that I now own. I get these emails every single day. Example, payment done for Ethereum purchase, invoice number, blah, 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 has been generated successfully. PayPal. Yeah, it says here my account has been charged with $860.61, which will be deducted from my PayPal account within 24 hours. If I don't recognize this transaction, I should call this phone number at 858 something or other. Then I look at who sent this email. It's Firkinated955 at yeah, right. PayPal. I don't have a PayPal account. And then 2 of these emails yesterday, 2 of them, but they come in every day as well. Marriott gift. Congratulations. Claim your Marriott luxury pillows now and sleep like royalty. Just click here to get your luxury pillows. That email comes from ZP5PRGSLYTCGHM and about 40 other letters at bounces, CARNET, whatever. It's a fake email address. People click on this stuff. Then what happens to them? I don't know, and I'm not going to click on it to find out. And then this one came in yesterday 2 times. Who are the people that click on these things and then get conned out of money or have their identities stolen? Fools, that's who. Educated by unionized government indoctrinators. What a world. Neil Bortz, XTRA 106.3.
Hey, it's Tug with election season in full swing and football on everybody's mind. Don't forget that fall's just around the corner. As those leaves start to drop, your gutters and roof might need some attention. Southern Exteriors has been protecting homes across the Southeast. Whether you need gutter cleaning, want to add gutter covers, or both, now's the time to get it done. Plus, with any cleaning job, you'll get a free roof inspection. Call Southern Exteriors today at 8779-SOUTHERN or visit southernexteriors.co. Quality and precision you can rely on.
Hi, this is Ben. And I'm Walt from Horizon Background Screening. There are two ways that we generally help businesses. First, as they're going through the hiring process with people, help them to find the criminal history. If somebody's on the sex offender registry, needless to say, most companies need to screen those people out. If they're going to be driving a vehicle, if they're going to be in people's houses, we need to make sure that we understand what their history is to protect your company and to protect your clients, but also to protect your employees.
Our pre-employment background checks, FCRA compliant. We're going to make sure you stay good with the EEOC, all those kind of things. Our PI stuff is going to be a little bit different. We can dig a little bit deeper. We have different avenues, and we can get into kind of the weeds of things, which on those kind of cases we want to do. 25 plus years, we've just been blessed with growth and have basically become a nationwide provider of both pre-employment background checks and private investigative services.
The best way for people to find us is on our website. A quick Google search of Horizon Background Screening or look at us at horizonscreening.com.
When you're leaving the house, do you plead with your garage door? Please open, please open. Hi, I'm Dan Watkins, owner of All Four Seasons Garage and Entry Doors. Let us take that anxiety away with one quick call. Our highly trained technicians will get to the bottom of your garage door issues. It could be a simple repair, a malfunctioning opener, or maybe just needs a tune-up. But if it's time for your garage door to be replaced, we'll make that easy too with upfront pricing and free estimates. When trust matters, trust us. All the number 4 seasonsgarages.com.
I'm Kamala Harris. Here's a few things I believe. Middle-class families, like the one I grew up in, they want common sense solutions. You want lower prices and lower taxes. I believe you want to just not get by, but you want to get ahead. We must create an opportunity economy where everyone has a chance to get a car loan, buy a home, start a business. And I believe we can make that happen.
Kamala Harris's plan? Bring down costs by cracking down on corporate price gougers. Make homeownership more affordable for families. A middle-class tax cut for 100 million Americans. And make sure billionaires and big corporations pay their fair share so you can keep more of the money you've earned.
Instead of being focused on the politics of the past, we need to be thinking about the future and how we make it better for families like yours. I'm Kamala Harris, candidate for president, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Harris for president.
All right, here we go. 420, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. And the New York Dolls, baby. On this day, 1974, the New York Dolls split up. The influential American band, formed in 1972, made just 2 albums, the 73 New York Dolls and the 74 Too Much Too Soon. I don't think I've ever heard one of their songs. I've heard the name, but I don't know anything about this group. But they called them an influential American band. Flounder, you would know. What would be about what about them would be a thing that music people would know? Anything off the top of your head about these people?
Drugs,
punk, drugs. Okay, punk.
Yeah, punk scene, New York.
Okay, well, again, I missed that whole generation thing.
Same time around, I guess, when the Ramones were getting started.
Talking Heads. Yeah.
Our birthday list. If you guys watch Breaking Bad, one of the great villains, one of the greatest acting jobs of a total meth head psycho was the guy named Tuco.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Am I right?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Pow, wow, yeah, wow. Oh, man. Yeah, boy. Oh, man.
He was Tony Montana from Scarface on meth.
A million times older than Tony. Oh, God. Well, his name is Raymond Cruz, and he's 60 years old today. Damn. He played Tuco on Breaking Bad. He was also in The Closer. But he was Tuco. Man, that was one great acting job.
He should have won an Emmy.
A great role. Really, we've immediately, when you say that, Tuco, who doesn't remember that? 60 years old, Raymond Cruz. And on this day in history, in 1813, it was the Second American Revolution. The War of 1812 was when it began. The British Navy, on this day in the War of 1812 and 1813, lost its first squadron battle on Lake Erie. The commander of the U.S. fleet sent the famous message, "We have met the enemy and they are ours." Not the cartoon version where, who's the little cartoon guy said we have met in we are he. Pogo. That was what it was. Made the caption on it. This was sent to the U.S. General William Henry Harrison. Harrison, Tippy Canoe, Tyler too, kind of deal, from those days. Yeah, it was 1813. And by the way, if you're not a history nut, I'm not a history nut, but I enjoy only in my adult years if I enjoy learning things I should have learned in 8th grade. The War of 1812 was basically our second revolution.
And we kind of lost it for the most part until the very end.
It was close.
Imagine if the U.S. had sailed up the Thames and burned Buckingham Palace. Yeah. Because that's what they did.
They did to the White House. Yeah. They burned it down. Yeah.
And then they left. They skedaddled as quick as possible. And then Jackson kicked their butt down. Gave them the largest one-day loss of men the British Army had ever faced up until World War I in the Battle of New Orleans. They had never lost. They had lost like 4,000 men.
Yeah. It was the second revolution. I mean, and again, our Constitution, 1789? I mean, it wasn't that long after we started becoming a United States that all of a sudden we go through it again.
It wasn't it all about they were pressing our men, they were capturing our boats and taking Americans making them be in the British Navy?
I think so. I think that had a lot, and I think a lot of it was high sea shenanigans and merchandise or tariffs and stuff like that.
We tried to get Canada. We invaded Canada, and they pushed us back.
Yeah,
we could have rescued them.
The 4 o'clock hour sponsored by Atlanta Safe House Home. The Kimmer Safes, by the way. You need a safe if you don't know it. Take it from me. When I couldn't find my medical records down in Florida when I retired, the VA says, ha ha. Sorry. In a much nicer way, of course. Anyway, they have a showroom in Ackworth, and please tell them the Kimmer sent you for your new safe. You need one. Your medical records, your living will, all that stuff. AtlantaSafeHouse.com. And while we're at it, Founder, let's remind the folks of this. This is a great deal. And I heard the morning, too. They're beautiful morning bastards today. There's only a few of these valued green card golfing cards left. Here's the deal. XTRA 106.3 is bringing you the 2024 Green Card. You can play 6 premier courses. I'll give them their names here in just a second. You play the courses with a cart, and instead of being $600, it's like $250. I think it's like $250 instead of $600 value. Mystery Valley Golf Club, Stone Mountain, Sequoia National, Country Club of Gwinnett, Cherokee Run Golf Club, and Heritage Golf Links. All those you get to play those 6 courses with a cart for $250 instead of $600. Go to XTRA1063.com and get that stuff. Yep. You'll love it. 425, Kimmer, Pete, and Founder. Now, on to another serious thing here today. Oh, did I mention the headline? New York Post. We just did the Dave Grohl story where he announced that he had knocked up a girlfriend and had a baby with her, and he's going to try to be a good daddy to the baby that he knocked up, the bastard child, and also be a good daddy to his real children that he actually admits, that his wife admits to, and to be a good husband to her. And, of course, that ought to be interesting. And so the headline of the New York Post says, Foo Father. Dave Grohl, the Foo Fighters, he's now the Foo Fighter, a Foo Father. Anyway, now here we go. Capitol Rotunda today, weeping families of the fallen heroes of the Afghanistan withdrawal. Congress posthumously today bestowing its highest civilian honor on the 13 American service members killed in the terror bombing at Kabul's airport and the disastrous withdrawal from Afghanistan. It came on the heels of that blistering House report on the U.S. withdrawal. Cut number 3, Flounder, Speaker of the House Mike Johnson, giving them the words they have not heard so far yet.
We also owe them something deeper, and that is an apology. To the families who are here, I know many of you have yet to hear these words, so I will say them. We are sorry.
Other congressional leaders showed up, including that disgusting suspected child molester Chuck Schumer, now pretending to say, well, we owe the families. Yeah, you owe them squat. You didn't say squat until you were forced to say something, you dirty, rotten slime bag. Mitch McConnell, the Senate Majority Leader. These guys are not on the same page here, by the way. Anyway, just for the record, I'm going to say these names because it's the least I can do. These are the names of the 13... Damn it. These are the names of the 13 service members who were slaughtered because of the Biden administration's Afghan withdrawal. Sergeant Johnny Rosario Ricardo, Sergeant Nicole L. Gee, Staff Sergeant Dan T. Hoover, Corporal Hunter Lopez, Corporal Dagan W. Page, Corporal Humberto A. Sanchez, Lance Corporal David L. Espinoza, Lance Corporal Jared M. Schmitz, Lance Corporal Riley J. McCullum, Lance Corporal Dylan R. Marola, Lance Corporal Kareem M. Nakui, Navy Corpsman Maxton W. Soviak, and Staff Sergeant Ryan C. Naus. 11 Marines, a soldier, and a sailor killed and dead forever because of this administration's ridiculous, un-American, disastrous, I don't know what other words to use for it, withdrawal from Afghanistan. And finally, they got to hear, I'm sorry.
Oh, by the way, you won't be angered about this.
Yeah?
Charlie Kirk tweets an interaction between a reporter and John Kirby, the State Department spokesman.
Oh, that pimpy little dweeble we see on the TV all the time.
Reporter asked, was anybody ever held accountable for the botched Harris-Biden Afghanistan withdrawal? Kirby answered, we've all held ourselves accountable.
Oh, you little pimp. No one was held accountable.
Oh, they did it. They sent themselves to bed without supper.
Yeah, wrote themselves a strongly worded letter for their permanent file.
That's accountability in Washington, D.C. That's your federal empire that has grown so out of control, it doesn't have to answer to anybody, even themselves.
And again, none of those generals has been punished.
No.
Not one. And if I recall correctly, even that United States Marine Corps general who should have had the balls to say, hold on, wait a minute, no, I'm out of here. He should have resigned on the spot. He should have said, I want nothing to do with this. And the problem is, he said that after the fact, when he finally realized what the hell they had done. This was after they had that original hearing with the families and testifying, and the sniper testified and all when that happened, finally that Marine Corps general said, this is the worst thing that I've ever done in my life. This is the worst thing that's ever happened to me. The worst thing I've ever done. He admitted he never should have gone along with it. And I think, I may be wrong here, but if I'm not mistaken, I think he actually said he should have resigned. He should have said, that's it, I'm retired. I'm no longer, I'm retired Marine as of right now. I want nothing to do with this. And I believe if he didn't say it out loud, I know that he knew it and thought it and said it to himself. What a freaking disgrace. Well, we know all about it. And again, if that, that's coming up tonight. And I wonder how, she was the last person in the room.
Mm-hmm. Bragged about it.
I hope to God that Trump mentions those words and says, explain yourself. And again, she said, boy, what a remarkable withdrawal from Afghanistan. It was a complete success. And we're really, we just really got our people out of there. Really. 431, Kevin Pete and Flounder. Yeah, how you doing? Jeez.
If you love news and talk, you have to connect with the biggest personalities in the South at thepodcastpark.com. It's more original Atlanta content from Atlanta's hometown talk crew. From legal news to sports and politics, and even archives of interviews from years past. Find the podcast that you love and subscribe everywhere you get podcasts.
Can I turn it on myself? Here you go. 4:30. Is it my turn? That's all right. No, he was just talking to Pete, and I want to make sure it was my turn to speak. 432, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. How's it going? 404-741-1230. Well, the boys in Atlanta, boys and girls, the whole crew at Atlanta Safe House, home of the Kimmer safes. And by the way, of course, when I retired, went to Florida, didn't have my safe down there like an idiot, and I couldn't find my medical records when I did some claims to get the VA, and they said, man, well, it's my own fault. It's my own fault. But, my kids know where to find my living will. That's pretty important. My dental records, your things on your finances, your credit card numbers, your driver's license, whatever. If you have a safe deposit, maybe all this stuff goes in your safe. And again, these beautiful big gun safes are not just great big empty holes in a big steel case. They have shelving units and nooks and crannies and anything you want. They can design anything you feel like it for your assets and your jewelry or your cash or stuff, including, check out the pistol safes, too. They have a showroom in Acworth. They love it when you just stop in. A lot of folks just stop and say, hey, Kimmer said to say howdy, how's it going? Maybe take a selfie and send it to us, whatever. Jeff and Mark and the whole crew at Atlanta Safe House up on Industrial Boulevard in Acworth. And by the way, this is really, really cool. From now on, the rest of the year, for the rest of the year, you buy any and all safes you buy at Atlanta Safe House, they'll pay the sales tax. Just saying, thank you for coming in. And by the way, summer sales are going nuts. You'll save hundreds of dollars. I shouldn't even say that because now you're all going to want them, Really protecting your stuff. It makes a lot of sense. Summer specials, rebates, saving hundreds of bucks, and no sales tax for the rest of the year. Please tell them the Kimmer sent you. All the top brands, great deals, AtlantaSafeHouse.com.
Hey, it's Front Office Lowe's for Echo and Howard Brothers. It's football season, and your yard deserves the best team on the field. Echo Power Equipment. Available at Howard Brothers. Make your yard the MVP with Echo, the choice of pros and homeowners alike. Whether it's leaves, branches, or the lawn, Echo's got the tools to tackle any job. And at Howard Brothers, they've got the lineup that's ready to play. Stop by your local Howard Brothers today and fuel your football season on and off the field. The grass is always greener when you take care of it with Echo and with Howard Brothers.
Hey, it's Tug from my friends, the Frost family of First Liberty Building and Loan. You hear about their family's company all the time here on XTRA 106.3. First Liberty has helped hundreds of small businesses grow by saying yes when the big banks say no. On Wall Street, opportunities to earn big returns are everywhere. But for Main Street investors, those opportunities are hard to find. Until now. Our First Liberty notes are now open to qualified Main Street investors, paying interest rates of 8 to 13% while helping fuel the growth of small businesses right here in Georgia. With a few basic qualifications and with as little as $25,000, qualified Main Street investors just like you can earn an 8 to 13% interest rate. If this is you, they'd love to hear from you. Go to FirstLibertyGA.com and consider joining the First Liberty family today. That's FirstLibertyGA.com. FirstLibertyGA.com.
First Liberty notes are not obligations of or guaranteed by any financial institution and are not secured by any collateral. They are not FDIC insured or guaranteed by any government agency. You could lose money. Purchasers must verify their SEC accredited investor status. Securities are not being offered in any jurisdiction in which it is unlawful.
You know Diamonds Direct for their exquisite diamonds and fine jewelry. What about luxury watches? With a handpicked collection by the industry's top timepiece experts, skip the waiting list and get the timepiece you've been eyeing right away. And this month only, enjoy 0% interest for 5 years on all the top brands. Imagine owning a $15,000 luxury watch for just $250 a month. Spread your payments over 5 years with 0 interest on approved credit. Diamonds Direct, where you can shop direct for diamonds and watches.
1 in 4 Americans have a disability. I'm one of them. I'm also a working mom who cares deeply about making sure every child with a disability thrives by getting their access needs met. We've got a trusted ally by our side. Easter Seals provides children and families the foundation for lifelong success through early learning programs, skills training, and prep for college and career. That's my Easter Seals. Make it yours. Join us at Easter Seals.
He directed Man from U.N.C.L.E., Sherlock Holmes, King Arthur, and the live-action Aladdin remake. Guy
The
Ritchie,
Gentleman?
56.
That's a great movie. The Gentleman.
I don't know that one. What's that about?
That was one of Matthew
was that
McConaughey.
the robbery movie?
He was American. He was the marijuana king of London.
Yeah, it was a British movie. I remember.
Very well. Very good.
I didn't see it, but I remember reading
and
it.
And they did a Netflix season. It's going to be a season 2. It's very good.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll be damned. On this day in 1977, how'd you like to be this happening to you in your last 12 seconds of your life? A convicted murderer named Hamida Dianadouba, a Tunisian immigrant in France, became the last person executed by the guillotine.
Good.
Can you imagine putting your head in that stock and then
I guarantee you, your head lives for probably a minute afterwards.
Well, I've seen chickens running around, and they say you've got brain
tell me
waves.
that brain isn't still working.
Yeah, it's if you cut it off at the neck, you didn't. If you were to chemically explode the cells, then they're gone. But if the cells are still there in your brain and your head's by itself, they're still there until they all die.
Do they sedate you before they execute you?
I don't think so.
I thought they sedated some of the guys, so just keep them nice and calm and everything.
I don't know. By the way, 4:38 coming up. We'll talk more about. Actually.
Would you rather be sedated, or would you rather know it till the very end that it's coming?
Oh, I'd probably rather be sedated. I mean,
I want to be sedated.
I suppose I wouldn't want. Well, on the other hand,
be high as a kite.
I could tough it out, man. Yeah, I want to know exactly what I'm about to. I don't know.
That could make you a ghost if you don't know you're dead. Yeah. You're still wandering.
Well, there you are.
The earthly plane.
Well, I'll take the ghost. Would you like to be a ghost?
For a little bit, and then you wake up and you go, oh, I got to move on to the light.
Well, but if there are ghosts, do they? I wonder if they last forever. Does anybody ever figure that? No, you can't know because you can't come back to life as far as we know.
I like to scare a few people for a month or two and then move on.
Well, I'd like to spy on people for a while and see what's going on.
Well, you can't satisfy yourself. You're a ghost.
Well, I don't know. I think I'd be a satisfying ghost. I think I'd be a different kind of ghost.
That would be an incubus, I think is what they call those. Succubus.
Unfortunately, I'm really not too far away from this whole issue. I really shouldn't be talking about this. Why are you talking about
let's
dying?
Do it right now. If you croak before us, give us a sign.
Okay, I'll try to. Let's see. Like Houdini.
Yeah, which he hasn't.
Yeah, he has not.
And my mom hasn't.
I will try to.
She said she'd do something. So.
Right, there will be something that you'll say, "Oh my God."
No, it's got to be specific.
Like a
because you can say, "Oh, there's a mockingbird out the window, or a cardinal, or something like,
or a horse whinnied at you, or something." Something
specific.
We'll have to think out something specific. The debate tonight, by the way, you'll hear it only. The only place in America to hear the debate is 106.3 tonight with us. I can repeat and flounder. Of course, we're not going to be here, but the debate will be. I just like to say our names and pretending we're going to be here. We'll be hosting it tonight. No, we won't. But we'll have it at night, for the record. By the way, and speaking of hosting, I went over to the ballpark yesterday and I got a chance to say hi to Joe Simpson and the Radio Boys at 680 The Fan.
How was it?
It was fun. They're just great guys, and we just hadn't seen Joe Simpson in 25 years.
Really?
Oh yeah. It'd been that long since. Well, when the Braves go to Toronto. 92? Well,
damn.
Anyway, so that was kind of fun.
Did you meet Ben Ingram?
Yeah, great guy. And the whole crew, just wonderful. Just had a little chat, just say hi. And Joe didn't know we were back on the air because he's, roaming around and stuff. And since we had the two disasters, the other stations, and then had the podcast, all of a sudden now we're back on the radio. And he said, well, this is great. And I just wanted to say hi. So it was kind of fun. Anyway, so and we play their stuff frequently, their calls and everything. And tonight they're where are they? Out Cincinnati?
Washington
Nationals. Just in, the House Judiciary Committee requesting a briefing from the Justice Department on combating conflicts of interest and political bias in its lawsuit against Google. They're saying they're saying the big tech giant's Google lead attorney is helping Vice President's side piece for the debate tonight against Trump. And they're supposed to be investigating the same thing at the same time. So the committee wants to know oversight on to what extent the executive branch is colluding with companies to censor lawful speech and help her prepare for the debate tonight against Donald Trump. They're listed in the lawsuit by the feds, and they think this is just kind of another conflict of interest. Again, these people will do anything. They don't have any standards. They don't have any ethical problems. The ends justify the means. That is such a cliche, but think about it. They will do anything and say, well, we had to do it. The same way Bernie Sanders just said she's going to lie about a record in order to get elected. Yep. Ta-da! There we are. Thank you so much. All right, 4:42. Let's talk about this Tyreek Hill business. Tyreek Hill is a wide receiver football star for the Miami Dolphins, and he was detained by police. He was stopped for speeding and reckless driving and no seatbelt. And so he was detained and he was stopped by the police. Now the police department has released something like 100 5 minutes and 33 seconds of body cam footage to the public. The body cam footage shows stuff like this. The footage shows the moment the police approached Tyreek Hill's car. First of all, he gets pulled over by the cops and refuses to lower his window. So the cop goes up to the car, and he does not roll down his window.
Well, he's special.
Well, because he's special. So the cop knocked on the window, and he said, "Hey, don't knock on my window like that." And the cop said, "Why aren't you wearing a seatbelt?" And the officer attempted to explain why he was trying to get Hill's attention with a knock on the window. And then the officer, he said, "Well, just give me a ticket so I can leave and get out of here," and rolled the window back up. Okay, so the cop pulls you over. He comes up to you don't roll down your window. He's got to knock on your window. "Sir, excuse me, haha." And you say, "Why'd you knock on my window like that? Just give me a ticket so I can get out of here," and rolls the window back up.
The cop asked for his ID, and he rolled the window up.
Rolled the window back up.
A tinted window, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He could have had a gun. That's a safety issue for the cop.
The officer objected to the window, and then when Will brought the window down slightly, the cops ordered him to get the hell out of the car. Hill could be heard saying, "I'm going to get out of the car," when a second cop pulled the door open and yanked him out and brought him to the ground. And then he starts yelling to his buddy, "Hey, Drew, I'm getting arrested over here." A cop said, "When we tell you to do something, you do it, understand? Not when you want to, but when we tell you, you're a little blanking confused." Hill was brought to his feet. He wasn't quick enough to sit on the curb when he was asked to, so the cop came over aggressively and pushed him down. Hill said, "I just had surgery on my knee, man." And the cop said, "Did you have surgery on your ears when he told you to put the window down?" And now here we go. If I wasn't Tyreek Hill, Lord knows I probably would have been, like, worst case scenario, I would have been shot or would have been locked up. Put behind bars, for a simple speeding ticket. And that's crazy. The officers would take it, to that level. The Dolphins released a lengthy statement saying, "We are saddened by the overly aggressive and violent conduct directed toward Tyreek Hill and the other two people by police officers before yesterday's game. Maddening and heartbreaking to watch the very people we trust to protect our community use such unnecessary force and hostility toward these players. Yet it is also a reminder that not every situation like this ends in peace, and we're grateful this one did." And he said, "What if I wasn't Tyreek Hill?" Well, there's even more.
Well, wait, before you do that, why don't the Miami-Dade police say, "You're on your own. No more security detail, none of the traffic control from us. You hire your own people to do it. We're out of here."
Well, in fact, let's finish it up this way. Tyreek Hill wrote on social media, quote, "Let's make a change." And then he went on CNN. "I'm not a big believer in diving people." I don't know what that means. "I don't believe in all that. I believe in bringing people together because that's my purpose in life. I do football camps all across the world trying to bring people together because we in this together, baby. We on this earth together. We got to live together. So when I say let's make a change, let's do it together." So Miami PD, really all officers across the world, one officer doesn't make the whole group look bad. Everybody has bad apples. Every team has bad apples. It's my job to use my platform and my resources so that way I'm able to align with these different stations. We've done it all. We've done protests. We even took a knee. We did walks. So what's next? Me and my wife are brainstorming on how we can be a part of this change. It's important to us. We want to be able to change the lives.
He's a liar.
Yeah, and then he says, "If I wasn't Tyreek Hill, they probably would have shot me."
He's a liar. He said that he did not treat them with disrespect, and that's exactly what he did from the very first second. And you know what's funny? They're going to start screaming racism. They've already started screaming racism. Yep. But this has just come out. The officer placed on administrative leave, 27-year veteran. You know his name?
No.
His name is Danny Torres.
Danny Torres.
That's right. He's Hispanic.
Hispanic fellow.
So what's so much for the white cop beating up on the poor black man who outweighs him and is more muscular? By the way, that injured knee he's whining about.
Yeah.
He ran an 80-yard touchdown, the longest of his career.
Super touchdown. By the way, the cops are not taking this laying down either. In fact, their lawyer says we want the cops immediately reinstated.
Yeah, immediately.
Immediately. While his agent, Tyreek Hill's agent, says they ought to be fired.
Okay, here's what we have. We have the body cam. We've all seen it.
Yeah.
That we know Tyreek Hill is a liar. Maybe the cop overreacted? Maybe he did. But the reason he was there is Tyreek was breaking the law.
That's right. And he was also, instead of rolling down the window saying, "Yes, sir, officer, here's my ID. I'm sorry if I broke the law," and leave it at that. Instead, he's got to be a smart ass and does the window trick thing.
And he lied
You're
about
asking for it and then saying I was a wonderful gentleman. You punk. Well, he's special, and he's black, so
it's
you
not
can't,
like an NFL wide receiver hasn't killed a woman and her dog by crashing a car 150 miles an hour in the back of her in Las Vegas.
Well, that's never happened before. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, 448 here. Come repeat.
That McLaren looks sharp, though.
Oh, yeah, boy.
It's a nice car.
Great car.
XTRA 106.3 is committed to bringing you the local and national perspective you need and hearing your voice leading up to the election.
Hey, it's a Kimmer. Trump wanted 3 debates, but the girl said, it's too scary. Let's just do one. And there's only one place in Atlanta to hear the debate tonight at 9 o'clock. You can listen at 106.3 FM or the XTRA 106.3 app. Download it right now.
Proud to be Atlanta's conservative news and talk station, XTRA 106.3 and the XTRA app.
Are you looking for something simple but delicious, sweet but also savory? Discover Schumann Farms Sweet Onions. Schumann Farms is a 3rd-generation family farm with the Real Sweet brand and Mr. Buck's brand sweet onions. Each brand brings savory, sweet deliciousness to every meal. Whether you're grilling, sautéing, or simply adding a fresh crunch to your salad, Schumann Farms has you covered. Look for Schumann Farms Real Sweet brand and your Mr. Buck's brand sweet onions at your grocery store and taste the difference for yourself. Schumann Farms, the Georgia family farm growing tradition and the world's sweetest onions.
Hey, Jimmy, what's going on?
Oh, hey, Bobby. It's kind of embarrassing. I'm having deck problems.
You're having deck problems?
Hey, keep it down. It's embarrassing.
Now, look, there's plenty of guys in the neighborhood with deck problems. What's the matter with yours?
Well, it's small and old compared to yours.
All right, let's not make this a deck measuring competition. You just need to call Excavations. They've seen decks of all sizes, shapes, and colors. Good news is Excavations can build you a sweet new deck that you'll love to show off to your friends and neighbors. Don't worry, Jimmy. We're going to get you some big deck energy.
Hi, this is Candace with Excavations, and have I got a tip for you. Don't feel ashamed of your deck. Excavations can build an outdoor living space that you'll be proud of. And with our Exavision, we'll be able to show you your home's transformation before you even begin the work. Keep the HOA off your deck and give us a call today for decks, windows, siding, roofing, and more. Or visit us at exovations.com to get inspired.
Fall is just around the corner, and with it comes unpredictable storms. Is your home's roof and siding ready to handle the weather? Southern Exteriors is your go-to for reliable roofing and siding solutions. Whether you need a new roof, repairs, or durable siding that stands up to the elements, Southern Exteriors is here to help. Plus, they're offering free estimates, 0% interest, and no payments for up to 6 months. So you can get the peace of mind you need before the storm hits. Call Southern Exteriors today, 877-9-SOUTHERN, or visit southernexteriors.co. Quality and precision you can rely on.
Have you heard about Sonder and their Georgia-based Medicare Advantage health plans? Sonder Health Plans is committed to revolutionizing healthcare, making it straightforward, personal, and affordable. Call them and ask if you qualify for their fantastic $400 grocery card offer and $0 premiums. They've even got their own radio show and podcast called Weekend Wellness, dedicated to keeping all Georgians healthy and happy at every age. Call 800-331-2928 or visit SonderHealthPlans.com. Sonder Health Plans is an HMO with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Sonder Health Plans depends on contract renewal.
Have you thought about securing your hard-earned assets? Do you have concerns about the future? Protecting assets is crucial, and that's where Nelson Elder Care Law excels. As a family-owned and family-focused firm, we provide absolute assurance and peace of mind through our trademarked Absolute Protection Trust, tailored services in estate planning, probate administration, Medicaid crisis solutions, guardianship, and conservatorship. Our goal is to exceed your expectations and empower informed decisions. Visit NelsonElderCareLaw.com for asset protection and peace of mind.
Kids across America are going to school hungry. Millions of kids every day. Hungry kids get sick more often and can struggle in school. It can be harder for them to focus and learn. But one simple thing can help change all of this for a hungry child in America. Good, healthy food and the energy it brings. With help from caring people across America, No Kid Hungry is providing healthy meals and hope to hungry kids so they can build better futures.
We want to ensure that all of our kids have healthy meals every day.
Thank you.
Thank you for helping feed our kids.
To learn more about ending child hunger in America, go to helpnokidhungry.org today.
We're smart, we care. We're Central Heating and Air.
Feeling the heat, Atlanta? Don't let it get you down. Stay cool with Carrier products from Central Heating and Air Conditioning. Their Carrier systems are designed to help keep you comfortable even during the hottest days. With advanced cooling technology, you'll enjoy a refreshing home no matter how high the temperature rises. And right now, you can save up to $2,000 on a new Carrier system. That's right, up to $2,000 off to ensure you stay cool all summer long. Plus, their Carrier systems come with excellent warranties for added peace of mind. At Central Heating and Air Conditioning, they pride themselves on better service through knowledge. And right now, you can save up to $2,000 on a new Carrier system. That's right, up to $2,000 off to ensure you stay cool all summer long. Turn to Atlanta's Carrier experts. Call 770-GET-HEAT or visit centralheat.com today.
We're smart, we care. We're Central Heating and Air.
yeah, baby, look out. Yes, you do. It's the Kinks. I never knew the words of this. I always used to get confused. Really got me now. Don't know what I'm doing now. Yeah. You really got me now. You got me so I can't see my mind. You really got me. You really got lips. You really got me. Got me. Sounded like you said really got lips. I don't know why I think that. Jimmy Page, 1964. The Kinks. Third single, You Really Got Me. Number 1 in Britain. The future Led Zeppelin founder and guitar picker Jimmy Page played tambourine. On this,
One of the greatest guitarists of all time is playing
tambourine. There you go. Our birthday list for the Kimmer Pete and Flounder includes Amy Irving, 71. Is she still married to Steven Spielberg, maybe, or not? I don't know.
He married Kate Capshaw in the 80s.
Oh, that's right. Well, who's Amy Irving? He's married to somebody. Isn't she married to somebody?
She was married to him. Spielberg.
Of course. And she did that movie about being a Jewish woman who wanted to get people married or something, I think. Was famous for that. I don't remember. Anyway, I probably should have looked that up. And our... Yes, that'll be the day. Our history list, shut up. Today, I was up at 5:30 in the morning. I've one lousy thing I forgot to go. Sorry. On this day in 1996, Sheryl Crow's self-titled record album banned by Walmart because of the song Love is a Good Thing. The song mentions children killing each other with, quote, a gun they bought at Walmart discount store. So Walmart said, no, we're not going to be able to sell that album for you here, Cheryl. Yeah. 456, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. 404-741-1230, 741-1230. We got a Founders Funny coming up here. First of all, Nancy Pelosi's at it again. Nancy Pelosi yesterday was quoted as saying, Donald Trump is such a chicken. I've seen cowards like this before. This coward will never even show up for the debate. Now, that to me is amazing. That Nancy Pelosi is still just saying stuff like this, and they quote her, and
she said 30% of Republicans.
That's the next story leading into that is that 30% of she was asked about why people vote for the way they do. She said, well, there are going to be a whole bunch of people who will never vote for Democrats because they have a different orientation about women and LGBT. They're not going to be there. It's like 30% of the Republicans are just, they just don't have any, they're just racist and sexist and homophobic. Oh, okay. It's the basket of deplorables again by Hillary Rodham P. Stinky Fart Cabbage.
Did you see her? She looks like a lizard person. They peeled all the skin off her hands and face, and she's red. She did one of those skin peel things.
Yeah. Oh, man. Former hooker, former call girl.
Pelosi?
Yeah. That was a rumor. 457 here. Oh, a little Founders Funny. Here we go.
Every relationship has the person that will take the trash bag out of the trash barrel and do a little, we're good, tie it off, and then leave it slumped against the counter like it took two behind the ear and a mob hit. And then there's the person that actually picks it up and takes it out to the curb at night and puts it in the trash can, right? My wife's hilarious, man. I love her, but she's got some of the worst excuses ever. I'm like, why don't you ever take out the trash? She goes, I would. I'm just afraid of coyotes. I'm afraid of the coyotes. It's like, so am I. So am I. They're rabid dogs. They hunt in packs of 2s and 3s. You don't do it because you don't want to do it because you know I'm going to do it. Just get the fuck away from me, please. I'm telling you.
Bill Burr.
Mr. Burr himself.
I'd say, honestly, one of the funniest bits I've ever heard of Bill Burr was when he was talking about riding the train to Harlem. Yeah. And he married a black girl. I mean, he was going to go see his black girlfriend. He had married her at the time. And he was telling the story about, he said, looking like I do, he looks like Howdy Doody. He says, I'm going in a train going toward Harlem, and all of a sudden it gets blacker and blacker when you get like Danny Glover Avenue. And he says, all of a sudden I get off the train, and there's like 3 black guys on the sidewalk, and I'm afraid to go anywhere near they are. I mean, he's just on and on and on. It was freaking hysterical to see his black girlfriend.
Where do they live there? They're worried so much about coyotes.
I don't know where they moved to, but it's not Harlem anymore. I know that.
Must be L.A.
Must be probably because we're in California. Anyway, by the way, you're going to hear after the 5 o'clock top of the news, I hope they talk about not only the hearing for the immigrant law, but also the Gold Award winner families for the victims of the Afghan withdrawal. Well, you're going to hear from Melania Trump also here in a few minutes. And also, I'm not sure what to make of this. A New York Magazine reporter was interviewing Donald Trump and actually got to inspect his ear. And she says, an ear never appeared to have gone through less. There's a tiniest patch of this sculpture of the skin, a minor distortion thing. But, boy, this, the ear looks perfect. Looks pretty much like brand new. Never really appeared to have gone through anything,
They're acting like he wasn't shot again.
Yeah, well, here we go. Yeah, it's a false flag, they're saying. Magnificently staged, professional work, look really real. Oh, my God. Here we go. Coming up, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, 5 o'clock. Holy crap, it's sports, too. Flounder's funnies and more tweets on 106.3. Look out, here we go.
And W292 EV Marietta, a Dickey broadcasting station. This hour is presented by Lebrand Jewelry and Watches.
Supporters on each side expect a contrast. On Lisa Brady, Fox News, as Vice President Kamala Harris meets former President Donald Trump for the first time, sharing a stage for what might be their only debate.
My expectation is that she's going to outline a vision for the future of this country that's going to focus on families and everyday Americans and what our country should look like going forward.
Arizona Democratic Senator Mark Kelly telling Fox News the former president is focused on the past, but House Republican Conference Chair Elise Stefanik tells Fox Business.
Well, Kamala Harris owns and is one of the reasons behind Joe Biden's catastrophic failures.
Singling out border security and inflation, Harris has defended the current administration's record while emphasizing more needs to be done. Trump argues she already had a chance during more than 3 years in office. Fox News Radio will provide live coverage and a simulcast of the ABC presidential debate beginning at 8 Eastern tonight. At least 9 states will now have constitutional amendments to restore abortion rights on the November ballot. The Missouri Supreme Court ruling in favor of a vote on a measure that would undo that state's near total abortion ban. A shutdown showdown may be fast approaching on Capitol Hill, where current government funding runs out at the end of this month.
Government shutdown is always a bad idea at any time.
Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell, as the House prepares to vote on a bill that would extend funding into next year, but with less funding than Democrats want.
It would endanger troop readiness, risk troop pay, hinder our efforts to outcompete the Chinese government.
Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, President Biden has threatened to veto the House bill, in part because Republicans attached a measure to require proof of citizenship to vote, which he calls unnecessary, since it's already illegal for non-citizens to vote. Francine, still a tropical storm for now, but forecasters still expect it to become a hurricane before a possible Louisiana landfall tomorrow. America's listening to Fox News.
For anyone living with everyday aches and pains, there's a lot of things you can try. Tough it out, bite the bullet, grin and bear it. Or you can try something that has helped so many other people, Relief Factor. Relief Factor is a 100% drug-free daily supplement that helps your body fight pain naturally. Developed by doctors, Relief Factor uses a unique formula of natural ingredients that addresses the inflammation where pain starts. And Relief Factor doesn't just mask pain for a short time. It helps reduce or even eliminate it all day, every day. Wherever you're hurting, your back, neck, joints, or muscles, in about 3 weeks or less, you'll see a difference and rediscover what it's like to feel better and live better. So if everyday pain is affecting your life, don't go with the mind over matter approach. Try Relief Factor instead. Go to ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4RELIEF and save on your first order. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF. Fight pain naturally with Relief Factor.
Let's get it together, ladies. Left shoulder, right of blank, ready on your dog target. First wide in the rear. Road guards out. Look out. It's only me. It's only the Kimmer with Pete Davis and Flounder at the controls on your Tuesday afternoon. Beautiful day in the neighborhood. Though the forecast, there's a storm brewing out there in the Gulf, and it looks like we may get some nasty weather in time for the weekend, if possible. And we'll keep you posted again. We don't really worry about that kind of stuff too much. It is still summertime officially. 404-741-1230 is the number. 404-741-1230. And we got a billion things to talk about, and you're going to hear some testimony and some stuff, and we'll talk about Carmella the side piece and the debate and everything else. First to the phones, take priority. Kevin, you're on the radio. Kevin. Happy Tuesday. What's going on, man?
Hey, I'm doing okay, Kimmer. How are you, sir?
We're doing great, my friend. What's up?
Hey, look, I just wanted to just communicate something about what a common sense decision this is as to who to vote for president.
Okay.
All right. What is our government? What is the federal government?
It is our daddy to protect its citizens, to protect its family.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a non-profit, publicly funded corporation providing services, correct?
Yeah, that's right. Paid for by us,
but
by the people. Yeah.
They even sell stock in the forms of savings bonds. All right, so who best to run a corporation? A lawyer or someone that has run a multi-billion-dollar corporation?
Yeah. Well, again, look at the Trump administration. He was a businessman who ran it like a business. We were energy free. We were on top of the world with energy. The economy was never better for any category. Black, Hispanic, female, you pick one. Never better in American history on the economy than under Donald Trump as a businessman. Yes, sir.
You're exactly correct, because it is a business, and he ran it like a business, to your point. Now, what does Kamala want to do? She wants to give tax breaks for the middle class, correct?
Yeah, she says, yeah.
That's one of her points. She wants to increase taxes on the rich, and she wants to have corporations pay their fair share.
Yeah,
that's what she says in her commercial.
That's right.
Now, do you think corporations actually care about a corporate tax increase?
No, they don't. They don't pay taxes.
They don't.
Yeah.
No, they don't. Because I read recently that for every 1% of a tax increase that corporations incur, they increase their prices for their products or services 1.7%.
Yeah.
So if she increases corporate taxes by 10%, that means that whatever we're purchasing, be it a product or a service, is going to go up 17%.
Yeah.
But this is my point. These are the decisions that she's making, not knowing anything about business. But
Yeah.
they're the decisions that Trump would not make.
Yeah. And again, her advisors are telling her what to do. They have to come up with some kind of a plan which they think sounds good, because they're saying, well, we're going to tax the rich and give breaks to the middle class. Oh, that sounds fantastic. But until you look at the details and what it's going to mean, it's just another word salad. Again, she's putting together, she's making a movie. She's being Cleopatra in a movie about why we should support this wonderful creature all of a sudden. It's with no details that make any sense. It's just despicable.
You're absolutely correct. And I'm going to end this with a joke.
All right, please
Why
do.
did God create the lawyer?
Why did God create the lawyer? Golly, I don't know, Kevin. Why did God create the lawyer?
He needed something to serve as a bad example to Satan.
Hey, yo, thank you, Kevin. All right, gotta go. You're killing me. 507. There you go. 404-741-1230. Again, I mean, seriously, the choice couldn't be easier or simpler. I mean, seriously.
I remind you of that line in The Dark Knight when the Joker comes in and says, I thought my jokes were bad.
Well, I mean, I can't wait for the debate tonight. Again, it's going to be on 106.3. We'll have it all right live right here. I'm going to listen and watch. I'm going to have everything covered, so I'll be all set to go.
Have it synced up.
Have it synced up perfectly. And again, what's really killing me about this and funny is that the Harris campaign is still ticked off because they're going to shut the mic of the person who's not supposed to be speaking. She wanted the mic open, and people originally thought that she wanted the mic open because she knew when she was speaking, she thought that Donald Trump would start saying something stupid or vicious or, unholy or something, and she could say, excuse me, I'm speaking, or she could show that he was being rude and interrupt him and so forth. That's not the reason she wanted the mics on. The reason she wanted the mics on is for when Donald Trump is talking. And she could do what she did as a prosecutor in her background when she confronted the people in the Supreme Court nomination hearings and cabinet members during Senate hearings. When they start talking, she jumps in to interrupt and try to change their direction and fake them out and annoy them and throw them off their game. She wanted the mic open so she could attack Donald Trump when he was speaking. Not because he would say something while she was speaking. And it didn't work. And by the way, one Democrat strategist said she screwed up. They did this was the rule they had for Biden, but it didn't make sense to have it for her. She never should have gone to it, and they stuck with it. And so now she, but again, just the nerve of these people. And if she can't comment while Trump's speaking, it's maybe kind of different. Okay, quick thing, 509. Flounder, we're going to play cut number 2 here. This is pretty cool. And I don't know why this, unless the timing was specifically for the debate, I don't think Trump's going to mention anything about her past with Willie Brown or Montel Williams or being a side piece. There's no way he's going to get into any of that. No, there's no possible way. But for some reason, unearthed now by the Daily Mail is the old interview and a special profile on ABC about San Francisco Mayor Willie Brown. The moment that the report was done by Diane Sawyer when she was with ABC in 1995. And you're going to hear now that we cut to Flounder, you're going to hear a reporter talking about the issue that Diane Sawyer portrayed the Democrat Willie Brown. Again, he was a San Francisco mayor. He was a Speaker of the California House. He was the most powerful man in California. He's the one who got her jobs on commissions, made her hundreds of thousands of dollars in fees for being on commissions that he put her on while he was having sex with her while he was married, and she was his side piece. He also was the one who was powerful enough to get her elected as the Attorney General of California. Now, cut number 2, Flounder. Here's a reporter, and listen very carefully as you'll hear there was a party and some dancing going on, and see if you can, and we'll play it again a second time, with the conversation of a woman talking to Willie Brown while he's dancing with Carmela Sidepiece.
He's a rogue, all right, notorious for his flamboyant lifestyle. Flashy clothes, fancy parties, fine women.
Are you his daughter?
The woman went up to Willie Brown and said, "Oh, is she your daughter?" Carmela was in her 20s. Willie Brown was 60. And she starts laughing. She was laughing. It was hard to hear, but she said, "Is that your daughter?" And she goes, No. Holy cow. He was a speaker for 14 years, most powerful man in California. He started dating her when he first ran for mayor. By the way, Willie Brown is now 90, and he's still married to his wife that he was cheating on all those years with her. By the way, he's not talking about her. He used to joke that she's going to have me deported if she ever gets control of the White House and for whatever reason.
And there'll be a pillow snuffing.
Yeah. 512. Let's do one more here, Flounder. Cut number 1. This is hysterical. More to think about with Carmela Sidepiece today. Aaron Bernett from CNN was talking with one of her guests on the show where he was going kind of deep undercover to find out more of the policies of Carmela Sidepiece that she has changed over the years. Even Aaron Bernett from CNN is flabbergasted when she learns this from her guest on the show.
What else did you find? Yeah, and this was a questionnaire that she filled out for the ACLU, and this questionnaire is really an interesting snapshot in time of that 2019 Democratic primary. Kamala Harris was trying to get to the left of Bernie Sanders. She was trying to get to the left of Elizabeth Warren, and you really see that in a lot of these answers, and I want to walk our viewers through a little bit of what she said. Let's just take immigration and look at what she said here. She said on immigration, she made this open-ended pledge to end immigrant detention. She said she supported taxpayer-funded gender transition surgeries for detained migrants. She also said she
taxpayer-funded gender transition surgeries for detained migrants. She actually said she supported that.
She wrote and answered in the affirmative when she was asked this. And she said she also supported it for federal prisoners. Now, she also pledged to slash immigration detention by 50%, close all family and private facilities, and decrease funding for ICE, and then to end ICE detainers with local law enforcement.
I mean, these are things that, you would be hard to think that you would come up with taxpayer funding gender transitions for detained migrants, and yet this, as you say, written and verbally.
Again, it should be so simple. If Donald Trump just is really cool about it and just points out these things and say, explain yourself. What's different?
Why is that so outrageous? We already pay for prisoners, and then we put them in with the women.
Right, exactly. So what do you expect?
How crazy is that idea of doing it for illegals?
Yeah, and by the way, when they put in the rapists who want to transition, but they haven't transitioned yet, and they start raping the female prisoners, then, I mean, it happens. People are unbelievable.
It's just going to get worse if she gets in. The slippery slide will become an avalanche.
And again, if she wins, all the Democrats win, because it means all the Democrats voted Democrat, and Congress changed, Senate changes, and we lose everything. Oh, my God. 5:14, holy crap, it's sports is coming up, and so much more. Look at
Radio legends, proud military vets, national network experts are all on XTRA 106.3.
It's going to be an interesting couple of months.
With live and local shows in the morning and afternoon, and the biggest conservative hosts in the country throughout the day. We are always here with the latest news and opinions you need.
There's no chance if the media and the Department of Justice and social media are all against you.
No traffic interruptions, no former shock jocks, just Atlanta legends you've turned to for a generation. The conservative voice of Atlanta. XTRA 106.3 FM and the XTRA app.
Lebrand Jewelry and Watch Company, where quality and value make the difference. Locally owned and located in Sandy Springs, offering you the finest selection of unique diamonds, sapphires, rubies, and emerald jewelry, as well as other fine gemstones. Lebrand Jewelry and Watches has been servicing Rolex watches for over 30 years, and their Rolex-trained watchmaker will service your watch in their state-of-the-art Rolex service center in their store. Lebrand uses only genuine Rolex parts, and their estimates are free. Drop by Lebrand in the Trader Joe's Shopping Center in Sandy Springs or visit lebrand.com.
Foundation repair isn't pretty, but at Atlanta Ramjack, we make it easy. If you notice any cracks in your foundation, they need to be addressed as soon as possible to reduce additional costs that come with the repair. Why call us? Foundation repair is all we do. We have highly trained estimators that will thoroughly evaluate your home and only recommend what is needed. If you are experiencing foundation problems, please contact us at ramjack.com/Atlanta or call us at 770-502-8881.
With the upcoming election, an assassination attempt on President Trump, wars overseas, inflation, and stock market volatility, these are uncertain times. Do you have a plan? Are you prepared today to have a worry-free tomorrow? If you haven't been to True Prep, now is the time. True Prep is locally owned and operated by Joey and Matthew, who are Georgia Tech graduates. Visit True Prep on Cobb Parkway in Marietta or visit online at trueprep.com. That's TRUprep.com.
XTRA 106.3 and the Warrior Alliance are teaming up to help veterans succeed after military service. Join us on Friday, September 13th at the Warrior Alliance Expanding Our Impact fundraising event with Tug Cowart and special guests Drivin' and Cryin's Kevin Kenny and Atlanta Braves alumnus Sid Bream. Doors open at 5 p.m. and guests are invited to a private celebration party at the Xfinity rooftop to watch the Braves and Dodgers. Tickets and VIP tables include dinner, parking, and the game and are on sale now at thewarrioralliance.org. Supporting veterans means more than just thank you for your service. Sign up today.
Donald Trump's back, and he's out for control.
I would have every right to go after them.
Complete control.
I will wield that power very aggressively.
And he has a plan to get it.
Detailed plans for exactly what our movement will do.
It's called Project 2025, a 922-page blueprint to make Donald Trump the most powerful president ever. Overhauling the Department of Justice, giving Trump the unchecked power to seek vengeance, eliminating the Department of Education, and defunding K-12 schools, requiring the government to monitor women's pregnancies, and Trump has also proposed severe cuts to Medicare and Social Security. Those are Donald Trump's plans.
Well, revenge does take time, I will say that. And sometimes revenge can be justified.
He'll take control, we'll pay the price.
I'm Kamala Harris, candidate for president, and I approve this message. Paid for by Harris for President.
Sorry. 5 o'clock hour sponsored by our good friends at lebrand Jewelers, where luxury jewelry and watches are affordable. Drop by their store in Sandy Springs or visit lebrand.com. It's 5:18. Hey, holy crap, it's sports with Pete Davis.
The 8-4 Reynaldo Lopez for the Braves tonight in Washington, D.C. against the 8-11 Mackenzie Gore for the Nationals. He's a lefty. Pretty good against the Braves. It's got to be a tough nut to crack.
Okay.
Let's not even talk about yesterday's fiasco where they managed just 2 singles from Matt Olson and got shut out by Cincinnati 1-0. The highlight may have been when a disgusted Jorge Soler took his wrath out on the iPad, throwing it roughly to the dugout floor. So, and basically, it's like me when I used to beat up my phone in the other office.
Yes, I remember.
Yep. So Ozzy Albies, big Ozzy, sauntered over to the broken iPad, picked it up, and closely examined it to see if there's any life left in it. He was joined by curious teammates Jared Kelnick and Michael Harris in perusing the dead piece of technology. It's like when you're at the zoo and they throw something over, and the animals come over and they all just kind of look at it. It's like looking what it was doing, and they're all making fun of him for doing it. So, Braves are now in 3rd place in the East and a game behind the Mets for the final National League wild card spot. Fox Sports MLB now has the Dodgers the favorites at plus 320 to win the World Series. Braves are 9th at 2,000 plus 2,000 tied with the Twins.
We got to get to the playoffs.
It's going to be,
we made it. I mean, can you imagine how
playoffs?
Playoffs.
Sad news. The real Mr. Met, in my mind, Ed Kranepool passed away Sunday. He was 79. Appropriately, Ed passed away from cardiac arrest while watching his favorite team, the Braves. Just kidding. It was the Mets. He was signed as a 17-year-old out of the Bronx. His first game, he sat watching them get no hit by Sandy Koufax.
Oh, my God.
He turned to manager Casey Stengel and said, what have I gotten myself into? This season, he's been rooting for the White Sox to beat the futility record of his 62 Mets for the most losses ever, 120.
There's no excuse for that. In modern-day baseball?
Not in modern day.
City?
No, there's
back in 1930 when they're still trying to do it.
1962.
Yeah, right. No, a brand-new team or something, that's one thing. But Chicago White Sox?
Please. The Falcons signed offensive tackle Brandon Parker. He's the final piece of the puzzle. The 2018 third-round draft pick has spent all of his career with the Raiders.
Can he play quarterback? Was that what they... Sorry, that was wrong.
That's awful.
I was so wrong. I was just wrong.
Well, Falcons interim head coach Raheem Morris.
Well, no, there you go.
Says Kirk Cousins' health has had nothing to do with the lame offensive play calls we saw in Sunday's loss. Last night, another aging quarterback coming off an Achilles tear looked pretty bad, too. Aaron Rodgers of Green Bay looked like he was 50 years old in the lopsided loss to San Francisco. At times, he showed flashes, but still looked slow. Ben Solak of ESPN has taken a very deep dive into Kirk Cousins' performance and has come up with some very scary insights. Yeah. Like how Kirk can't put his full weight on his surgically repaired leg in order to get off a strong throw.
That can't be good.
Ben uses words like petrified to describe his mobility. And the reason the Falcons shocked everyone by drafting Michael Penix Jr. is because they may have already come to the conclusion that after all those millions of dollars, that Mr. Kirk Cousins was not as healthy as they had hoped when they backed up the Brinks truck. And that's why they went and got Penix. Could be sooner and later.
Well,
I'm thinking before the end of the year, if this keeps... Like I said, they could be an 0-5. Very easily, they could be 0-5.
You mentioned yesterday the teams were at Philadelphia.
Kansas City, the Saints, and Tampa Bay.
Or Tampa Bay, yeah.
The NFL is having to investigate yet another lawsuit filed against Cleveland quarterback Deshaun Watson. A civil lawsuit filed yesterday accusing Watson of sexual assault and battery in October of 2020 when he played for the Texans. He allegedly met a woman, a single mother, at a Houston restaurant and managed to get her phone number and attempted to have her meet him at the Galleria in Houston for a date. She was reluctant to meet him in public, but she agreed to have a dinner date at her apartment.
Yeah.
So why would you not want to see him in public, but you'll bring him to your home?
Well, that's because she's a girl.
On the evening of the date, Watson had trouble finding her apartment and began aggressively yelling on the phone and screaming at her, saying, "I don't have time for this." Later, he got in anyway.
And she didn't hang up on him?
No.
Okay, all right.
She was applying makeup in her bathroom, and she came out to find Watson, quote, completely naked on her bed, lying face down on his stomach, end quote. Watson then requested the woman massage his buttocks, and the woman tried to appease him by rubbing his back rather than his buttocks.
No.
Watson then turned over and continued to demand that Jane Doe massage him. He's got to think about massages, gesturing from his knees to his groin. All right.
And again, she's not a masseuse. It wasn't like you met her in a massage parlor, right? I mean,
don't get ahead of me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
The woman told Watson she was not a masseuse.
Oh, sorry. Well, it seemed pretty obvious. I mean, my God. But she didn't say, wait a minute, why are you naked on my bed? I mean, you want a massage? What the hell? I'm sorry.
To which Watson asked her, what do you want to do instead?
Jesus.
Before she could answer, Watson partially disrobed her, and, it gets pretty graphic from there.
Yeah.
The woman claims she escaped his clutches by grabbing a heavy piece of decor and waved it at him. Watson then stormed out of the apartment. The 28-year-old Watson has already served an 11-game suspension 2 years ago after more than 2 dozen women accused him of sexual assault during massage sessions. He paid $5 million in fine, settled 23 of 24 civil lawsuits against him.
Yeah.
And here we go again. Scott Hansen, host of the NFL Red Zone channel, has apologized to Tom Brady for an offhand joke he made.
Oh, I heard about that.
Scott says it was tongue-in-cheek, but since no one has a sense of humor anymore, he's had to say sorry. But Brady himself has no problem with it, saying, "This rookie appreciates you, Scott. No apology necessary, my man. Life is too short not to have fun."
Do we know what he said or what the problem was?
He basically was joking a little bit about a little more energy, Tom, blah, blah, blah. What most people are saying.
Yeah, he got some criticism. But again,
it's his first game.
Yeah, you can't be critical of a guy.
Come on.
Yeah.
College football news. Auburn head coach Hugh Freeze is simplifying the playbook after that embarrassing loss at home to Cal Berkeley. Freeze says, "I can promise you the package will not be big."
That's what she said.
To which Reddit CFB responded, "Things Hugh Freeze has said on university-issued phones for $400, Alex." That's why I got him fired at Ole Miss. Not only did he call escorts, he called it on the school phone.
Yeah, that's not that good, no.
Auburn is 18-23 since firing Gus Malzahn.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Pitt has a quarterback named Holstein.
Okay. All right.
So don't be surprised if he milks the clock this year.
Hey, ho.
Hope he doesn't throw another interception.
No, that would.
Saturday night, 2-0 Vandy beat poor Alcorn State 55-0.
Oh.
They scored so much they ran out of fireworks.
Oh, to shoot off.
Vandy doesn't buy much fireworks for their games.
So, no.
College Football Report tweeted Texas quarterback Quinn Ewers had left Ohio State 2 years ago, and he's already beaten Michigan before they did. Texas Tech played at Washington State. Both teams were coached by the late, great Mike Leach. To honor the Pirate, the Cougars placed skull and crossbone decals on their helmets.
Oh, that's cool.
Very nice.
I like it.
Peter Burns and who named him? Of ESPN tweets.
That's pretty much the worst disease you can get.
And he kept the name. Good for him. He's really good, though. "We are divided as a country in so many ways, but history has shown us that earth-shattering moments have a chance to unify us back together. The search for the Florida State fan who said he would eat dog poop if they lost to Boston College might be just the moment that we need." All right, here's something. The Braves AA affiliate outside of Jackson, Mississippi, the Mississippi Braves, played their last game on Sunday. They had it was sad. It was, they're gone. They're moving.
Yeah.
The Bravos are moving the AA team to Columbus, Georgia, to be closer, like the other teams are. Okay.
That's good. Okay.
The new Columbus team will be known as. If you're in Columbus, Georgia, what would you name the new team?
The Columbus Bees. I don't know.
Why?
I have no idea.
I should have called the rap. Columbus has the Chattahoochee goes through with some rapids, which are kind of famous for.
Columbus Rapids.
Kayaking go through there all the time. They used to be the Mudcats, which was a great name.
That was a great name.
I used to go to their games down there.
I remember the Mudcats name.
And they moved to North Carolina. They had a great catfish with the big C in the middle. It was great.
Yeah.
All right. They've decided to go with the Clingstones.
Oh, for God's sake. Cling as in clinger, like for the
What's a clingstone? Anybody know?
I have no idea.
It is a form of peach. A clingstone is like a brand or a type of a variety of peach, I believe.
Well, but
I've looked at the logo, and the logo looks like a damn peach. It looks like the Kool-Aid Man as a peach.
Well,
Well, it reminds you of when someone says the word Klingons. It reminds you of something. Yeah,
exactly.
You know,
That's
it's
what I was
talking
saying.
about the Klingstones.
Yeah.
Meet the Klingstones. That's what they should play every time they come up.
Yeah.
As one Josh Pate put it, my hometown finally got minor league baseball again. And then they proceeded to fumble the team name to the depths of hell.
I love mine. I grew up in a town for years, as an adult, as an adolescent.
Bring it back around.
And honestly, it's one of the greatest things in the world.
It is fun.
Usually you can show up at the last minute, get a ticket, have fun, get a hot dog.
You're right there.
Meet the players.
Future superstars.
I saw all the Boston Red Sox superstars, all of them, before they became superstars.
And we went to Rome 3 years ago.
Rome, Georgia, and
that
there
was
they
wonderful.
were. Yeah. But wasn't Michael Harris there? I think Michael Harris was playing for them.
Michael Harris was there. The shortstop Shoemaker was there, which they traded.
Yeah.
And
somebody else too.
the catcher, Ryan Langer something.
I can't remember.
And they traded him to Oakland.
And I remember they looked like you were 15 years old.
Harris looked like he was 15.
Yeah. Oh, my. I remember looking. Oh, my
In fact, Shoemaker hit his first professional home run there that night.
Yeah. Isn't that cool? That was cool.
Today in history, September 10th, 1973, Hank Aaron hit his 37th homer of the season, 710th of his career, but lifted in the fourth inning. He wasn't feeling well. Davey Johnson hit his 40th home run of the season. For what Jay has in the box.
Yes.
Aaron would go on to hit 40 as he and Davey Johnson combined with what other Braves player to be the first team ever in Major League history to have 3 players hit 40 homers or more in the same season?
Murphy.
Who?
Murphy.
Reg Murphy.
Not Reg Murphy. Dale Murphy.
The newspaper guy?
Dale Murphy.
Reg Murphy.
I was so close. Hey, look, I get 50-50. That's got to count.
No, you get nothing because it wasn't Dale Murphy.
Well, who was it?
He wasn't playing in 1973. I'll give you a hint. His nickname was Howdy Doody. Mother was a big softball star.
Oh.
Played third base until he went to Detroit to win a World Series in '84 as a DH and first baseman, too.
Oh, not our guy, the blonde teenager who, I can't, the name
Bob Horner.
Not Bob Horner.
No.
I can't.
You won't get it. Darrell Evans.
Oh, I'll be damned. I remember Darrell Evans.
He
had 40. I had forgotten
In fact, that was the only thing we got to look forward to that year, 73, was would all 3 get to 40.
Yeah.
I was been at games watching Davey Johnson hit something.
In fact, yes, when I went to the Braves Park to see Joe Simpson and the guys yesterday, I remember talking to him about the time when I was in the ballpark back in the early 70s when they had 5,000 people in the stands. And I said, I was there, in fact, when Davey Johnson set the record for second base home runs with like 42 on the year as an Atlanta Brave, and he set the National League record for home runs by a second baseman in that park.
At that time, yeah, and he was a light-hitting defensive specialist with the Orioles.
He hit 42 home runs.
I couldn't believe it. He was like, to me, I thought, this guy's going to hit 216, and the sucker hit 40 homers.
Yeah.
2003, Javi Lopez homered off Phillies righty Vicente Padilla, gave the Braves a franchise record 216 dingers for the season. And in 1918, players on both sides of the World Series threatened to strike unless they are guaranteed $2,500 for the winners and $1,000 each for the losers. They backed down. They're told it will appear greedy because people are all fighting World War I.
Yeah.
So they agreed. No one was fined, but there are no World Series rings or mementos given out.
I'll be darned. Well,
cheap owners.
But still, the war, I guess. But cheap owners.
The war was over. The war was over by that.
Yeah.
No, it ended November of 1918, so it wasn't over yet.
Yeah, that was just an excuse. We have so much more coming up. 5:31. Kimmer Pate and Flounder tweets and Flounder's funnies and just more sports stuff too. By the way, for the record, look out.
It's time for your Georgia headlines presented by RBM of Atlanta, your Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964.
The 72-year-old woman is dead after a man driving a Ford F-150 was reportedly going too fast and unable to stop at a red light at the Georgia 400 at Jotham Down Road intersection in Forsyth County. Investigators say the 30-year-old driver crashed the Ford into a Toyota RAV4 driven by 72-year-old Julie Waters Lamb, killing her. Deputies are investigating the crash and have not yet said whether the driver of the Ford Ford will face charges. Atlanta police are investigating a death in Piedmont Park after a bicyclist reportedly saw a pair of feet sticking out on a trail and noticed a weapon near the body. Police say the person found may have died by suicide, but the death remains under investigation. Atlanta police detectives say they may need to rely on the official autopsy report to provide more clarity on the case.
For more on Georgia politics and the latest breaking news, follow XTRA 106.3 on social media or download the XTRA 106.3 app.
Back to school means back to traffic in Atlanta. If traffic mishaps land you in trouble with the law, it's important to know who to call. Call A Second Chance Bail Bonds. We handle bonds from local to federal for any jail in any city. And in most cases, we can have you or your loved one out in a matter of hours. A Second Chance. It's better to know us and not need us than need us and not know us. Call A Second Chance 24/7 at 404-BAIL-OUT. That's 404-BAIL-OUT. Or online at atlbail.com.
This September, Diamonds Direct's ultimate offer is back, stronger than ever. Diamonds Direct helps you get the perfect jewelry gift with 0% interest. That's right, enjoy 5 years of 0% financing on any Diamonds Direct purchase. It's your chance to get her the perfect ring with 0 interest and comfortable monthly payments that fit your budget. But act fast. This offer ends September 30th. For details and more, visit diamondsdirect.com. Spread your payments over 5 years with 0 interest on approved credit. Only at Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
A musician with technical knowledge can play all the right notes. But one who cares enough to play from the heart gives music soul. At Truist, we believe the same is true for banking. Because when you work with someone who knows a lot and cares even more, you're unstoppable. Truist, leaders in banking, unwavering in care. Start feeling unstoppable. Visit truist.com/care. Truist Bank, member FDIC, leading based on top 10 U.S. commercial bank.
Millions of guys suffer from erectile dysfunction. That's 1 in 4 men. And I can tell you, I'm one of them.
If you or someone you know suffer from ED, Peyronie's disease, or PE, here's 38-year emergency room doctor and founder of Total Body Therapy of Georgia, Dr. Eric Deal.
Patients who enter my office are often frustrated, hopeless, depressed, and embarrassed. I understand the problem, and I'm going to help you fix it. There are lots of competitors that don't have the credentials that I have. When you go to other clinics, you're not going to see a board-certified physician with the experience that I have. When you come to our clinic, you're going to see me. There's just not one therapy that can solve these complex issues. I'll do a complete history and physical prior to any treatment that we use. Take it from me, Dr. Deal. When it's not hard, it's really hard.
Call Dr. Deal for your free one-on-one evaluation and resolve your ED, Peyronie's, or PE issues. Total Body Therapy of Georgia, 404-777-1911, 404-777-1911, online at stopmyed.com.
Want to be your man, baby. Here we go. Look out. Da-da-da-da. It's Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, and on this day in 1963, it was a chance meeting between the Rolling Stones at Studio 51 Jazz Club in London, and Paul McCartney and John Lennon met together. The two played the Stones a partly finished song, I Want to Be Your Man, and the Stones later recorded it.
Well, they gave it to the Stones.
Yeah, said they played it for him. It's a chance meeting at the club. And it turned out to be...
And Lennon gave him a speed. He said, if you guys don't start writing your own records, you're going to fade away.
In fact, I remember that was what changed their entire act, really. I mean, they became a whole different...
And their agent locked them in the kitchen, Richards and Jagger, and said, you ain't coming out till you got 2 or 3 songs.
Yep, a great story. Phone calls take priority. Patricia, you're on the radio, baby. How's it going? Welcome. What's up?
2 quick things, Kimmer. One thing that really is bothering me. Mm-hmm. I understand we changed the voting age to 18 during the Vietnam War when we had a draft. Mm-hmm. And if you could be drafted and risk your life, you certainly should vote.
Yes.
But as I look at high school seniors today that are voting, I really get frightened by it. They can't have a drink till they're 21, but they have the right to vote. I don't know what it's going to take to raise the voting age. I don't think it'll happen.
No, I don't think it'll happen. In fact, we know that there have been local communities have the right to lower the voting age to whatever they want for local ordinances. And there are, I can't remember the names of them now, but we've talked in months past about communities which have now decided that if you're 16, you can vote for local elections. I mean, if you get a driver's license and you ought to be able to vote for things involving your local community. I mean, my God, their brains aren't ready yet. They're not, they're
not ready now.
6 states are letting immigrants vote in local elections, too.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Illegal. They are not legal to vote in statewide or national elections, but they can vote in local ordinances and so forth. Because
right. And we're really going to. And then this other thought, a friend sent this to me today, Kimmer, and I'd like to share it with you.
Yes, ma'am.
As you prepare for bed tonight, never forget, on this day, 23 years ago, 246 people went to sleep preparing for their morning flight. 2,606 people went to sleep in preparation for their work in the morning. 343 firefighters went to sleep in preparation for their morning shift. 60 police officers went to sleep in preparation for their morning patrol. 8 paramedics went to sleep in preparation for the morning shift of saving lives. None of them took a breath past 10:30 a.m. on September 11th. It doesn't matter if you were there or weren't there. Too little to remember, even if you weren't born yet. This day, this piece of history changed the world forever. It changed all of our worlds.
Those are powerful words. Pete Davis
took the words right out of my
earlier this afternoon, Patricia, and they were just as powerful. And I hope people remember them. In fact, we both, or at least I felt a little bit guilty because I honestly had not thought much about 9/11, even though this is 9/10. Mm-hmm. And I admit that I hope we don't start forgetting slowly but slowly because maybe we have and we can't stop. We have to stop forgetting. We have to stop forgetting.
Well, I'm going to a debate watch party tonight at Adventure Outdoors, so it'll be interesting to see how much 9/11 comes up tonight.
Yeah, I hope so. Thank you, Patricia. Great to talk to you. Call us tomorrow if you like. We'd love to hear from you tomorrow, too, afterwards. Thank you, sweetie.
She did a better job than I did.
Well, no, she did. In fact, now I can't find
I don't think they'll mention 9/11. Well, Trump might.
Oh, she will. She'll mention.
You think so? She's not a New Yorker.
No, she won't
might
mention 9/11. No, she won't mention it.
He might mention it. She won't. Because now we're importing by the thousands the people who did that to us.
Yeah, I think he will. On the eve of 9/11, I think he probably will mention that in some capacity. Let's see. Hold on a second.
Do you want another tweet while you're sitting there fumbling for something?
I wanted to do.
You could do like 2 tweets while you've been fumbling.
Here it is. We're going to play cut number 3 here, Flounder, to go along with what Patricia was just saying. Today there was a ceremony at the Capitol Rotunda, and the families of the 13 American service people who were murdered, butchered, slaughtered because of the Biden administration and the withdrawal from Afghanistan. Their families were there as the United States Congress posthumously awarded the victims, the people who were slaughtered by the administration, their Congressional Gold Medal, the highest award of a civilian that can be awarded to somebody in America. And the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, said the words that the families have been waiting to hear.
We also owe them something deeper, and that is an apology. To the families who are here, I know many of you have yet to hear these words, so I will say them. We are sorry. The United States government should have done everything to protect our troops. Those fallen and wounded at Abbey Gate deserved our best efforts. And the families who have been left to pick up the pieces continue to deserve transparency and appreciation and recognition.
One of the emotional family members there was Carol Doolittle, the mother of one of the victims, who said, "A big part of us died with our children. August 26th, 2021. We deeply appreciate the efforts of Congress and the Speaker to make this possible." And again, they've been ignored by the administration, which is freaking typical. What do you expect from these people? By the way, here's another conspiracy thing. I mentioned earlier the New York Magazine reporter inspected Donald Trump's ear, and she said, has an ear ever appeared to have gone through less? Trump himself was pretty philosophical. He said, hey, it's a railroad track. They didn't need a stitch. You know, it's funny. The ear bleeds a lot, but no big deal. But all of a sudden, this magazine reporter, New York Magazine, is now her article because she said, gee, it looked fine to me, like nothing ever happened to it. Oh my God, it was a false flag. They're replying now to her article. Somebody died, 2 people were injured, but what do you think about that? It was a false flag, man. I thought it was magnificently staged, professionally done. It almost looked real. I think that he walked away alive, perhaps a scratch on his ear. Behind the scenes, that was all fabricated. They put a little scratch on his ear, threw a little blood on his face, and then the reporter asked, well, so you think they planned from 130 yards away to shoot off the corner of his ear? And the guy said, no, they never shot off the corner of his ear. That was all done by the people hanging around him. It was all staged. Trump on the other side trying to make a scene. He only got his ear, stood up and said, America, come on, it doesn't feel normal. Looks like it was planned. Jeez, oh my God! And again, let's play this Flounder if we have time. Yeah, we have time. Cut number 5. Melania Trump. Melania Trump she'd come out with an audio and a video, and she has I guess it's a new book coming out or a documentary or something or other. And Melania Trump is now demanding the truth about the assassination attempt on her husband. Has released a new video slamming the media for pretending it never happened. Flounder, if you will, cut number 5.
The attempt to end my husband's life was a horrible, distressing experience. Now, the silence around it feels heavy. I can't help but wonder, why didn't law enforcement officials arrest the shooter before the speech? There is definitely more to this story, and we need to uncover the truth.
Melania Trump, she's concerned it might be an inside job. I mean, like we're also, how do you explain? How is it possible that the kid who was a freak-off and was the worst shot on his high school shooting team could somehow pull it off? How did he get up there? He had a gun. He got up and everybody knew it. Everybody saw it. And it's just, I can't believe it.
Well, we have to say it's either utter incompetence or some of them were in on it.
I mean, it wasn't like he was a Navy SEAL. If it was a Navy SEAL, I could say, well, hell, was a Navy SEAL.
The whole thing, CNN was there when they arrested that dude, Roger Stone and everything. They were there at 5 a.m. with their vans. They had been tipped off and everything. Yeah. And so people, I don't know if this is true or not, but I keep hearing it. That is the only Trump rally they took live. Was that one. Yeah. And the one after it, I think, because they wanted to see what was going to happen for the next one. But that was the only one they had ever done.
And they were told. Yeah.
He was not expected to leave Pennsylvania alive, I don't believe.
Well, it's pretty damn pathetic. One more quickie update here on the Georgia school shooting suspect, Colt Gray's dad. This story is getting worse and worse. In fact, didn't you? There's a new story. Didn't the boy's mother?
The counselor supposedly called his mother that morning.
The shooting said there's a problem going on. Well, the way that the dad spoke to his son, raising eyebrows of concerned family members. Here's one family member, a relative of Colt's mother. Quote: he would call this talking about the father. He would call Colt names to his face, names that no boy wants to hear. Sissy, blanky, bitch, just names that were meant to break him down and emasculate him. The father always thought that Colt was too gentle and tender. That's why I believe he gave him the rifle. He bought him that AK-47, and the father's being charged and faces up to 180 years in prison. The maternal grandfather said the father is evil. Spending 11 years with that son of a bitch screaming and hollering every day, it can affect anybody. Turned a good kid bad. Relatives questioned their wisdom of giving a teenage boy an AR-15 style rifle. He was 14. One relative said, geez, when I heard that, I couldn't believe it. What the blank, man? You don't give someone like that to a kid. It was a recipe for disaster. There was a lot of talk about making a man out of Colt, said the relative. Just the whole mentality of toughening him up and making him stronger. That was the top priority of that father. You see where it got us. Dear Lord. 546, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder.
XTRA 106.3 is committed to bringing you the local and national perspective you need and hearing your voice leading up to the election.
Hey, it's a Kimmer. Trump wanted 3 debates, but the girl said, oh, that's too scary. Let's just do one. And there's only one place in Atlanta to hear the debate tonight at 9 o'clock. You can listen at 106.3 FM or the XTRA 106.3 app. Download it right now.
Proud to be Atlanta's conservative news and talk station. XTRA 106.3 and the XTRA app.
Hey, it's Front Office Lowe's for Echo and Howard Brothers. It's football season, and your yard deserves the best team on the field. Echo Power Equipment. Available at Howard Brothers. Make your yard the MVP with Echo, the choice of pros and homeowners alike. Whether it's leaves, branches, or the lawn, Echo's got the tools to tackle any job. And at Howard Brothers, they've got the lineup that's ready to play. Stop by your local Howard Brothers today and fuel your football season on and off the field. The grass is always greener when you take care of it with Echo and with Howard Brothers.
This time of year, there are two things you can't stop. The leaves falling off the trees and the prices falling at Solomon Brothers Jewelers. If you are planning a fall wedding, birthday, or anniversary, there's never been a better time to visit Solomon Brothers Jewelers. Percentage Week is back for 1 week only, September 16th through the 22nd. This is your chance to save up to 60% off on engagement rings, wedding bands, earrings, necklaces, bracelets, and more. Everything in all three of our showrooms will be discounted up to 60% off. Now is the best time to save on the engagement ring and wedding bands of your dreams. Choose from all of the top designers in the industry, or say I love you with a beautiful pair of diamond earrings or a tennis bracelet. Remember, no matter the price, you'll find something nice at Solomon Brothers. So visit us for Percentage Week, September 16th through the 22nd, going on in all three of our showrooms in Buckhead, Alpharetta, and Sharpsburg, or online at solomonbrothers.com.
Jim Niarchos here with exciting news. The All Four Seasons Home Show returns to Atlanta Radio this Saturday morning at 9, bringing you advice and tips from some of Georgia's top business owners. Join Dan Watkins and myself when we will be helping you make smarter purchases, save money, and keep from getting ripped off. That's the All Four Seasons Home Show every Saturday morning at 9, right here on XTRA 106.3.
Neil Borch here. Maybe you've already taken the steps to improve your health, maybe save your life. You're using a CPAP for your sleep apnea. I've been using one for well over 20 years. So right now, I'm here to tell you about a source for CPAPs and CPAP supplies here in the Atlanta area. CPAPs, etc. They're in Alpharetta. They have whatever you need. Roddy and Sharon are your CPAP experts, and they'll ship nationwide. More information, CPAPs.com.
Have you thought about securing your hard-earned assets? Do you have concerns about the future? Protecting assets is crucial, and that's where Nelson Elder Care Law excels. As a family-owned and family-focused firm, we provide absolute assurance and peace of mind through our trademarked Absolute Protection Trust, tailored services in estate planning, probate administration, Medicaid crisis solutions, guardianship, and conservatorship. Our goal is to exceed your expectations and empower informed decisions. Visit NelsonElderCareLaw.com for asset protection and peace of mind.
I'm going to let you in on a little wireless hack that can cut your cell phone bill in half every single month. Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile want you to believe you need unlimited data so they can overcharge you. Here's the fact. Most of you are buying way more data than you will ever need. Pure Talk only charges you for data you actually need. Listen to this. For just $25 a month, you can get unlimited talk, text, and 5 gigs of data plus mobile hotspot. Do you know what you can do with 5 gigs of data? You can browse the internet for 135 hours, stream 1,000 songs, or watch 10 hours of video. Stop overpaying for wireless and get 5G coverage with Pure Talk. Dial pound 250 and say the keyword Pure Talk. Pure Talk's U.S. customer service team will make switching easy. There's no contract, no activation fee. You can even keep your phone and your number. Dial pound 250 and say Pure Talk, and you'll save an additional 50% off your first month. With Pure Talk.
1 in 4 Americans have a disability. I'm one of them. I'm also a working mom who cares deeply about making sure every child with a disability thrives by getting their access needs met. We've got a trusted ally by our side. Easter Seals provides children and families the foundation for lifelong success through early learning programs, skills training, and prep for college and career. That's my Easter Seals. Make it yours. Join us at easterseals.com.
Here we go. This is Bones. Well, now I can't find my music sheet, Flounder. I think I lost it. I'll be there. Yeah, it's over here somewhere.
It was on this day in 1962 when, let's see here, the BBC band Bobby Boris Pickett and the Crypt Kickers single Monster Mash saying it was offensive. The single went on to be a UK number 3 hit in 1973.
Thank you, Flounder. The Crypt Kicker 5, they call them. With those. Anyway, it's a 5:52. Kimber, Pete, and Flounder. 404-741-1230 if you want to get a quick call. We're almost out of time here. A couple of quick sports things left over here, Pete Davis. Paul Goldschmidt, birthday, 37 years old. Is he just retired, I think?
No, he still plays for the Cardinals.
Is he? I'll be damned. Yeah. In fact, perhaps after they were in the American League. Also, let's see, retired Cincy Reds first baseman, won the National League MVP in 2010, Joey Votto, 41. Randy Johnson, Hall of Famer of the big unit. We just talked about him yesterday. Randy Johnson's 51 today. And Joe Perry of the Aerosmith guitar people is 74. Pete Davis also in sports. On this day, it was a big day in 1989. Deion Sanders made sports history by becoming the only person ever to hit a home run and score a touchdown in the same week. He had a home run for the Yankees. Then 4 days later, September 10th, 1989, ran a punt back 68 yards to score a touchdown for the Falcons.
I intentionally left that out of sports.
Oh, you didn't want to bring that in there?
I don't care.
You don't like Deion?
I don't care about that guy. He's holding it.
What's going to happen to him in Colorado?
It's not a program. That is a reality show.
How could they go on with that?
It's a reality show.
How could they continue that program? There's too much.
He's making money for him. Well, that's why.
Is he?
Yeah, he's got the place is full. He's getting attention that they never had before.
I don't. That's good. I mean, I guess, but still, I mean, I can't imagine being part of that.
Oh, he's going to be gone a year or two. The way it's going, they may win 4 games at best this year. Yeah. If they lose to Colorado State this weekend, and they hate each other. But those coaches hate each other.
Yes, they do.
By the way, Glenn Burns has posted a photo of what he thinks rain will be Thursday through Saturday.
Oh my God. Red warning types, the purple.
Almost all of Georgia will be flooding, except where I live.
And that's basically Friday, Saturday, Sunday kind of deal?
That's Hurricane Francine, Thursday through Saturday. Remember that one that came up? Opal.
Yeah.
And it formed a line of thunderstorms that just roared through Atlanta, caused all kinds of damage. I remember that.
Yeah. Good grief. Lou Brock set a major league record, by the way, for stolen bases when he was with the Cardinals. 1974, this day, Lou Brock stole 105 bases.
That's a lot.
Holy cow. Mickey Mantle hit home run number 400 on this 1961. 400 homers. Tied the league record. Same year, Mantle and Roger Maris battled for the home run crown. Maris hit 300, hit his 61st on October 1st. 40 years after Babe Ruth set the record.
And it was on this day sometime in the 60s, I think, or 50s, Mantle hit a ball out of Tiger Stadium onto Trumbull Avenue and into a lumber yard.
It was something like 600 feet or something. I remember seeing. Yeah, holy cow. Anyway, 5:55, holy cow. Let's do this. Cut number 4, Flounder. There was a hearing today on the immigrant crisis and the border crisis and how it results in little girls being raped and murdered and butchered and brutalized. And one of the House hearing today, one of the women who talked was named Alexis Nungere, talking about how she found her 12-year-old daughter. Number 4.
They proceeded to tell me how my daughter was murdered. She was strangled to death. She had no clothing from the waist down. Her hands and her ankles were tied and thrown under the bridge of water like she was nothing but garbage. Because of the Biden-Harris administration open border policies catch and release, they were enrolled in the Alternatives to Detention program. This meant that they were released into the United States. It was not even a full 3 weeks later that they would take my daughter, Jocelyn Nungare's life. They saw a young girl, my daughter, Jocelyn, and placed a target on her without her even knowing.
They stalked her. They followed her. They made sure when she was going to be alone. It was more than there was some testimony this morning. I started watching on Fox TV, and I literally had to stop watching because she was telling the story of how another 11-year-old girl was being stalked and how the guy got into her house, and she was describing it step by step, and I couldn't watch.
They don't fear us. They don't fear the police, the army, nothing. We're a joke.
And one more quick thing before we wrap up the show. Let's do the Swalwell cut. After all that testimony about the border crisis and raping and murdering little girls and what this has meant to the families in here, Eric Swalwell, the disgrace of Congress, who got caught in a honeypot Chinese spy girl sexual affair business where you were revealing secrets to the Chinese. Swalwell took this opportunity to talk about Donald Trump and the memes about him saving ducks and cats.
What in the hell is this? The chairman tweets, protect our ducks and kittens in Ohio because he goes down some crazy rabbit
about
hole.
The Haitians
completely debunked that aliens are.
It's not completely
eating
debunked.
What's
pets?
It's just lies. Lies.
Are you okay, Mr. Chairman? Because last year, for a very long time, you tweeted and promoted Kanye West as he was calling for genocide against the Jews, and you kept it up. And now, when we have victims coming here, you're tweeting this nonsense.
You know what? Screw him. Cut that off, Clown. I didn't want to listen to that. Thanks. I don't even want to listen to the bastard. A quick thing before I forget. The Divergent actress, who's Shailene Woodley, released a statement after she supported First Lady Melania Trump after the assassination attempt, wrote a letter, and Shailene Woodley, who's a liberal, said, I posted that letter because I thought it was a beautiful message of human compassion. I forgot about it because I have a life and I don't live for social media. Well, she forgot it was posted, and now she's getting blasted. She's getting creamed as though she's a supporter of Bernie Sanders, and all of a sudden now the left is turning on her. Liberal servers, she says, they're clamoring for violence in the liberal circles after they tried to kill Donald Trump. She says, I can't believe it. It was so beautiful. The people I respect are now saying, oh, we missed a chance for the assassin. They should have killed him. It was a setup and a conspiracy. I'm going, what have you forgotten? That human lives were taken? I mean, this actress is saying, my God, don't forget this stuff.
Wake up.
Anyway, Flounder, one more funny, if you will, sir.
I got busted with weed in Florida last year. Less than a gram of weed. And they took my happy ass to jail. I've been partying in Florida for years. I didn't even know they had laws. Looked to me like everybody just run amok down there. And I'll run amok with you. I will run the out of amok with you. My wife got pissed at me when I got busted with that weed, and she smokes pot. What is up with that? I come home, she goes, you smoke too much pot. I said, oh, let me get this straight. You smoke the correct amount of pot. You ever smoke so much pot your wife starts to make sense? Me either.
Who's that there, Flounder? We
That's
know
Mr. Ron White.
Ron White was part of the, Jerry, what's his name?
Jeff Foxworthy.
Jeff Foxworthy thing. Anyway, it's only me, it's only the Kimmer. I gotta go, you're killing me. Pete Davis and Flounder, hump day tomorrow. Christine, sing me home, baby. Hoorah! Herp, look out! Herp, home! Here comes a bear! It's a bear!
The Kimmer Show is back every afternoon from 3 to 6 p.m. Only on WFOM Marietta, a Dickey broadcasting station. XTRA 106.3 FM.